their style is getting out play. You're going to draw a lot of. Yeah, I don't have any problem with them, Zach.
Yeah, looking sort of at both games, I mean, Huntington's played well, all year, really. And so, Goshen's been on a little bit of a skid so far recently. But I really think Goshen's played well at home this year, as they are sitting at 5-4-1 at home. But they are 1-3-1 in conference, and Huntington's third in the conference, like we talked about earlier, whereas Goshen is sitting in the 9th spot there. But if you had to look to one or two things that really closely that you think that Goshen needs to do to beat Huntington, what would you say they are?
Well, in net tonight will be Tomas Fonseca, their non-usual starter, but he's very capable, as all three goalies that the Maple Leafs have on their depth chart are capable. So in goalie, they got to be sound, and that really goes in any game. But their back line's going to have to step up with the absence of Tevin Jilks, who's out with a groin injury, injured that last game against Spring Arbor. So somebody's going to have to step up, and right now they're going to look to João Vitor to step up on the defensive side for the Maple Leafs. But then on offense, you got to get that counterattack going, and Stuart Ashman, whether or not he has the angle or not, he's got the speed to create angles and distribute the ball. And then you also have Lucas Bontrager, Ollie Smith, all very, very quick players on the outside for the Maple Leafs.
Right, but also Stuart Ashman's been battling a little bit with injuries so far in this year. He seems to be doing a lot better as the season has progressed, and he still leads the team in goals with about 9, still ahead of his pace of last year when he scored 12. But do you think any of those lingering issues will do anything for him?
Not at all. Last game he was really quick on the outsides, able to attack. He drew the handball in the 18, which then led to the lone goal off the boot of Ram Keeson on the penalty kick. So, it's just been a hamstring or groin, I believe, that he's had for really the last season and a half, or half season, I suppose. But no, I don't expect any of those lingering injuries to become a factor for Stuart Ashman.
Right. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout here and be back with the starting lineups and the start of a game here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. To Goshen College men's soccer here on 91.1 The Globe, as the Goshen College men's soccer team is taking on the Huntington University Foresters in this one. If you are just tuning in, we're going to cover the starting lineups and then have game action. Will, do you have the starting lineups for Huntington?
Yeah, we'll give you a run through, Zach. In goal, number 1, Gabe Greenfield will be wearing a baby blue top. Number 2, Travis Hurtis. Number 7, Guillerme Linz Souza. Number 9, Miguel de Sousa. Number 11, Matthias Luzada. Number 12, Travis Rippey. Number 14, Valentin de Lonick. Number 16, Stephen Brown. Number 20, Noah Fleming. Number 23, Noah Stanford. And wrapping up the starting lineup, number 24, Jake Erlandson.
Now your starting lineup for your Goshen College men's soccer team. Number 2, Ethan Francois Valliere. Number 4, Sven Badstever. Number 7, Ali Smith. Number 8, Nate Nussbaum. Number 11, Stuart Ashelman. Number 13, in goal, Tomas Fonseca. Number 14, Jao Vitor. Number 16, Matt Granitz. Number 17, Jamel Ramkisen. And number 29, Murray Coburn. Again, that is Francois Valliere, Badstever, Ashelman, Smith, Nussbaum, Ashelman, Fonseca, Vitor, Granitz, Ramkisen, and Coburn. Game is, we're almost underway here, as the Huntington Foresters are wearing white and green tops with white shorts, white socks, and different colored boots. The Maple Leafs are wearing all black tops with white lettering and white logos, and black shorts with white symbols, black socks, and different colored boots. The rest are wearing orange tops with black pants, black socks, black shoes.
48 degrees is your game time temperature. That's very chilly from, what, 3 days ago? It was 75, so that's
like 80, less than a week ago.
Not fun for me, at least, but
they'll warm up pretty quickly out on the field with all the running.
We will not, though.
Yeah.
As a proud member of the NAI and the Crossroads League, we are committed to the
teams are fist bumping each other about to start here. As teams are lining up, we'll wait for the refs to set up the field, and both teams get set.
So something quick that I noticed for either side, Huntington's leading scorer, Ty Sproat, with 6 goals, is not in the starting lineup for the Foresters. And then also something just to keep in mind for the Maple Leafs, you don't have Tevin Jilks in the starting lineup, who really anchors that defensive line with the groin injury, and then in goal you have Tomas Fonseca. But I talked to some players before the game, and Johan is not injured, so just something to keep an eye on there.
Right, yeah, not quite sure why Johan's not in goal, but Tomas has done fairly well so far this year playing in goal. So,
yeah, like we said before, all 3 Maple Leaf goalies on the depth chart are very capable, so no real worry there.
Right.
Also, Tomas will have to start next year unless the Maple Leafs bring in
the greatest goalie, the greatest freshman goalie in Goshen history or something. Yeah. As we're about underway, players taking their positions on the field, and just waiting for the ref to blow the whistle. And we are underway here. Huntington now with the ball. It looks to be Brown down here on the near side. Huntington going right to left on your screen, vice versa on your radio dial, and Goshen is going vice versa of that. Now in the near side, Lin Souza with the ball on the near side, just passing it back to midfield, back to Brown. Brown looking to cross, now goes short to Lin Souza. Lin Souza now over to De Sosa. De Sosa gets it over to Luzado, and now all the way down. still down on the far side. Looks to get there, and now all the way back. Brown now crossing it to the far side. Looks to be Hurtis. Now Hurtis trying to look to go back. He's going to cross all the way back. Now Brown has it. Smith giving chase but doesn't quite get there. And now over with Lean Souza. Lean Souza gets it over to Lozado. Now back to Lean Souza on the near side, just inside. Now Granite's going to take it for Goshen. Over to Badge-Stieber. Now over to Francois Valliere. Clears it all the way to the far side with Ashelman. Now Ashelman, Spencer to Stuart Ashelman. Now back to Badge-Stieber. Badge-Stieber going to get it over to Granite's. Granite's still on the Goshen side. Now it's over to Vitor. Now to Nussbaum. Now to Smith, and Smith just barely keeps it in, working down the near sideline. He's going to get past a couple of Huntington defenders. Still going, gets tripped, but still going into the box, and that's going to be headed out by a couple of Huntington defenders, and it will be a corner kick for Goshen, the first one of the game for them.
That's a heck of a near side run for Ollie Smith as he got it past about 3 or 4 Huntington defenders. Good way to start the game for the Maple Leafs to get an early corner kick.
Taking the corner kick for the Maple Leafs will be Granite's. And that one's going to go in. That's going to be headed out by a host of Foresters. But Coburn is going to give chase. And it's going to be, now it's Ashelman after a few players kicked it around. Now picked up by Stanford and going to go to Badge-Stieber for Goshen. Now Francois Valliere going to send it now down to the near side in Forester territory is Smith. Smith's going to try to get past Brown and does not quite get there. And now it's going to be a throw in. Lynn Souza going to throw it in. Now with Brown. Back to Lynn Souza on the near side, just away from the 18-yard. Now right in front of the 18-yard box with the ball is Brown. Brown's just going to send it over to Greenfield. Greenfield's going to get it out to De Sousa. De Sousa's dancing with Coburn and is going to cross it. Now over with Hurtis. Now back to Hurtis after going up to Edelson. Now Ashelman had it for a brief second, but lost it right away. Over to Brown. Brown now has it. Brown over to Lynn Souza, and it's going to be knocked out by Smith, but it's going to stay with Huntington for a throw-in.
Huntington really dominating possession early on here.
Lynn Souza into Fleming, but he can't quite get a hold of it, and it'll be a Goshen throw-in. Throwing it in is Vitor. Vitor's going to get it into Francois Valliere on the near side. Looking over is Francois Valliere. Now with Badge-Stieber. Badge-Stieber in the 18. Now on the near side with Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere is going to try to get to Smith and doesn't, but now picked up by Lynn Souza. Now over to Brown. Brown's going to get it to the far side. Looks to be Hurtis. And now with Ashelman for Goshen. Now lost right back to Hurtis. Now over with De Souza. Now De Souza's going to get it over to Brown. Brown's going to get over to Lynn Souza. Now with Fleming. Fleming trying to work middle and not quite able to, but right back to Lynn Souza for Huntington. Lynn Souza's going to cross it in. Now with Fleming. Fleming right outside the 18 with a trio of Goshen defenders with him. And can't quite get a hold of it. Ram Keeson can't quite get there either. And it's going to roll for a while and go to Stuart Ashelman, who's going to get over to Spencer Ashelman. Now Spencer Ashelman's going to get it back to Badge-Stieber. Badge-Stieber's going to get it over to Nussbaum. And Vitor's trying to try to get there, but Fleming's going to win it. But Vitor's going to take it right from him. Vitor now working down the middle of the field, just cross half line. Ahead to Coburn. Coburn couldn't quite get there. Now over to Lynn Souza. Now over to Stanford. Back to Fleming. Back to Stanford, but Stanford can't quite get it. Granite's with it now. Granite's working in the near side of Forrester territory. He's going to pull it back, and it's going to go back to Vitor just across midfield. Now all the way back, about 5 yards away from the 18 with Batschieber on the far side. Batschieber's going to fake up and then just cross it to Vitor. Over to Francois Valliere. Valliere is going to cross it to the far side for Spencer Ashman's not going to get there. It's going to be now into Lozada. Lozada is going to fake inside and go out on Ramkisen. Still going. Now working middle on the near side. Going to get it over to Stanford. Stanford's going to get it right back to Lozada. And looking to get it to Lynn Souza, but Lynn Souza wasn't there. And it's going to be picked up by Smith. Smith is going to get it to Coburn. Coburn on the near side. Can't quite get a hold of it in a battle with De Souza. And it's going to be taken by Greenfield just in front of the 18. Now with Hurtis. Hurtis is going to cross it over to Lynn Souza.
7 minutes have passed in the first half. Play 0-0 between Goshen College and Huntington University.
Lynn Souza now with it on the near side, just cross midfield. Going to give it back to Brown. Brown now working middle. Working over to Hurtis. Hurtis is looking to go forward, but then has to go sideways to Brown. Now over to Lynn Souza on the near side. 37 minutes remaining here in the first half. Now over to Fleming on the near side, just outside the 18. Looking to go right and able to make the pass right to De Souza. Now all the way on the far side with Lozada. Now looking to go right, goes left. Going to chip it into the 18 and headed out by Francois Valliere. Picked right back up by Lozada, but going to be cleared again by Spencer Ashelman, and it'll be a throw-in for Huntington.
Yeah, and Lozada, the most able threat for the Huntington Foresters. Good defense from the Maple Leafs.
Back with Lozada. Now in the 18, and that shot's going to go over the crossbar. That one by Erlatson. It's going to be a goal kick for Fonseca. He's just going to get in quick to Vitor on the near side. Vitor is going to fake left and go right. Now over back to Smith. Smith looking to go to Granitz, has to give back to Vitor. Vitor is going to chip it and can't quite get enough foot on that one, and it's going to go right over to Erlitzen. Erlitzen trying to work middle and is able to cross it, as it's now taken by Rippey. Now over to Lozada with 36 minutes remaining here in the first half. Lozada trying to work to his right, unable to. Picked up by Ramkisen. Ramkisen's going to get to Coburn. Now over to Granitz. Granitz is going to try to get it to Nussbaum, puts a little too much on it, and Lynn Souza is going to get it. Now working is Lozada. Now over to Fleming. Now over to De Souza. Now to Brown. Brown at midfield. Now over to Hurtis. Hurtis crossing midfield at the far side. 35 minutes remaining here. Just 35 and a half minutes remaining here in the first half. Now over to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza looking to go right, goes left. Over to Fleming. Back to Lynn Souza. Just outside the 18. Working middle. Tries to get it back to Fleming and is able to. Now over to Lynn Souza on the near side, just outside the 18. And it's going to miss Fleming by an inch on the through into the 18. It'll be a goal kick for Goshen College. Fonseca taking this one.
If the Foresters could have connected on that pass, that would have been the best opportunity by far, as that would have led Fleming into the 18-yard box, but unable to connect.
Batschieber now on the far side of the 18, going to send it ahead to Ashelman. Going to go right back to Batschieber, who's now outside the 18 on the far side. He's going to send ahead to Stuart Ashelman. Stuart Ashelman looking to work middle. Going to get it to Nussbaum. Nussbaum now ahead. Nussbaum's going to get to Smith on the near side, just at the 18, and Smith can't quite get a handle on it. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Foresters with just under 35 remaining here in the first half. Throwing in is Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza looking to try to get it in, and does. Right back to Lynn Souza. Now over to De Souza. Now ahead to Erladson, and that one's going to be knocked out by Vitor, and it'll be a Huntington throw. Oh, no. It'll be ball Goshen.
Yeah.
As a
Good defense from Vitor as he knocked that one off of Fleming for his winning possession.
Now into Granite's, just outside midfield, going middle. Pressure from Erlatza, and he's going to cross to the far side to Spencer Ashelman. Spencer on the far side, working down the far sideline. Going to fake to his right and go left. Still running as that one's going to be taken away, and it looks to be a Huntington player is down just with a 33-35 mark. There is a Huntington player down.
He made the good grab and
area.
So Huntington has really dominated the first half possession-wise. They've been playing keep away right on midfield or back in their own territory from the Maple Leafs, and you know the Maple Leafs playing strong defense, haven't allowed a real good shot attempt yet.
Right. As I mean, it's been on the Maple Leaf side the majority of the time, but the Maple Leafs have looked to be closer to getting a good opportunity. They've had the ball in the 18 a couple of times, but couldn't quite connect to make that extra pass to put it in the back of the net. As the Huntington player is still down, not quite sure who it is they're on the far side.
How about a college football update? A little bit off topic, but LSU took down Georgia 36-16. It's a pretty big playoff shift.
Yeah, that's a big one. Georgia was number 2 in the country, so that's a huge one. As the Huntington player is now on their feet and walking. We'll tell you when they get closer to our eye line about who it is. It looks. Well, still not quite sure who it is. Looks like they might be staying on the field. Is that Dick Cormick? I think that's Dick Cormick.
I believe so.
No, well, no, it looks like they're walking off.
He's holding his shoulder, actually,
no,
so
yeah.
not a lower leg injury.
No, looks to be a shoulder issue.
Yeah, but that is number 14, Valentin De Cornick.
Yeah, De Cornick. Walking off on his own power, though. Looks to be a substitution coming in for him, though.
That'll be number 8 coming into the game. Bradley Gerke coming out will be the injured De Cornick.
Yeah, so looks like we'll be about to be going in underway fairly soon. It looks to be Smith taking the putting the ball back into play for Goshen. Smith waiting to put the ball back into play, and ref blows his whistle. Smith is going to put in the free kick, going to send it in the 18, and that one's just going to clear everything and go out the goal line.
Yeah, not Smith's best effort there, as that went from in play and straight out of play. So back into action.
Greenfield putting it back in. Looks to be Hurtis now trying to work middle. Hurtis is going to get it over to Brown. Brown now about 10 yards away from the 18 and on the middle. Now over to Linz Souza on the near side. Now back all the way back over to Greenfield just outside the 18. Greenfield looking to go long down the far sideline. Is able to connect with it. Looks to be Gorecki, and that's going to be headed by Bodstieber. Going to roll all the way over to Lozada. Lozada now trying to work middle. Lozada now working down the right side and going to try to make a through pass, and that's going to be knocked away. And it looks like they're going to call a foul on a Goshen player.
Yeah, a little bit of a hook there on Murray Coburn.
Lozada going to put it back into play. Hurtis now on the far side in Goshen territory. Now Lozada trying to work to his right. Going to send it back to Hurtis. Now over to Brown. Brown just across midfield. Now over to De Sousa. De Sousa now trying to work down the left center part of the field in Goshen territory. It's going to be cleared out by Vitor, and then going to be headed by a few players on both sides before finally falling and it looks to be De Sousa. Now with Stuart Ashelman on the near sideline, trying to work it back into Forster territory. Going to get over to Granitz. Granitz looking middle. Now over to Nussbaum. Nussbaum in the center, just shy of midfield. Now over to Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere is going to set back to Vitor, middle, just outside the 18. Now with Granitz. Granitz is going to cross it down the far sideline, looking for, looks to be Spencer Ashelman, and that's just going to miss him by inches.
There's that quick field reversal we talked about before game, just unable to connect.
Now back in with Stanford, trying to work down the far sideline. Now with Lozada. Lozada working down the far side, and now trying to work back middle. Midfield. Now over to Brown. Brown now get it down to the near sideline with Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza now working back middle. Going to make over to Lozada, and now Lynn Souza has it, but that one's going to not find the back of the net as Fonseca takes a great angle and forces Lynn Souza to go nowhere but out the back goal line. As will be a corner, though. It will be a corner for Huntington.
Yeah, it's a big save by Tomas Fonseca in goal. Just Lynn Souza just snuck behind the Maple Leaf defense and worked his way for a shot, but a good turn away.
Taking the corner will be Luzada. Luzada's just going to send it in short to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza's going to cross it into the box, and that one's going to be cleared out by, it looks to be Vitor. Back there is Stanford. Stanford's just going to send it right back into the 18. Going to be knocked away by Smith and Nussbaum. And that one's going to still be in. Coburn giving chase. Coburn now has it working down the near sideline. Lynn Souza giving chase, and he's going to get there. Coburn still has it, though. Trying to work back middle, and he's going to be tripped, and it looks like Coburn is down. Ball's still in play as De Sousa now has it midfield. Coburn's back up for Goshen. That's a good sign, and Coburn's going to get a steal on a back pass and try to nail it to Ramkison, and now Coburn is down again. And it looks like they're going to give him the foul, and they'll take a free kick.
Yeah, Coburn got tripped up originally, no foul there, and then the second time when he intercepted the pretty poor pass, was able to draw the second foul.
Taking the foul, the free kick is Granitz.
Yeah, usually see Granitz or Ollie Smith taking that as the two stand over it. The question is who's going to take it, though.
Oh. Taking it looks to be Granitz. Granitz is going to send it in, and it's going to hit the crossbar. So inches from being a goal for Goshen, but nonetheless, it'll be a goal kick as Greenfield's going to take it for Huntington.
Granitz put some crazy bend on that one. Just couldn't tuck it in the top left corner, so results in a goal kick.
Brown now has it just out of the 18 on the near side. Going to get it over to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza now working down the near sideline for Huntington. Going to get it over to, looks to be Erlodson, and it's going to go out and be a Huntington free kick as we are now at 29 minutes remaining here in the first half. And Erlodson trying to get a fancy pass, but it's going to go right to Francois Valliere. And now Goshen now working down the far sideline over with Spencer Ashelman. And he's going to send it back middle to Nussbaum. Nussbaum's going to fake left and go right. Gets it over to Stuart Ashelman. Stuart Ashelman now trying to work back middle again. Going to get to the far side to Badschieber. Badschieber just going to send it back to Vitor just outside the 18. And it's going to go over to Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere is going to tip it to Ramkison. Ramkison is going to battle with it, get it back. Now back with Francois Valliere. Now Smith down the near sideline, going to get back to Francois Valliere, and Smith takes it back after it being lost, and now it's going to go back to Huntington, and Nussbaum's going to take it back again. Now with Stuart Ashelman. Stuart Ashelman now working down middle. Given chase is a few Huntington players. Stuart Ashelman had it for a long time, gets in the 18. Now with Smith in the 18 on the near side. Now out of the 18, going to cross it back into the 18, and that one's going to be headed by, it looks to be Curtis for Huntington. It'll be a Goshen corner on the far sideline with just under 28 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Really not sure how Stuart Ashman held on to that ball. He was going with four Forrester defenders and managed to pass it off to Ollie Smith to lead to the corner. Their second of the game. Sorry, Zach.
Looks to be Granite's taking, not Granite's, Smith taking this corner. Smith sends it, bending in middle, and that one's going to be hit away, but still with Goshen. Vitor has it. Vitor loses it. It's still in the 18. Now Ashman's going to take a shot, and it's just going to miss. Just slightly right. And it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, that ball was in the 18-yard box and loose for quite some time, as it looked like Vitor took his best shot and then missed it, and then it rolled back to Stuart Ashman, and he missed his.
Just missed the right post. Now Hurtis has it, working middle, about midway between the 18 and midfield. Now over to with Lynn Souza. Now back to Brown. Lynn Souza looking to work back middle. Going to send it back to Brown. Brown's going to send it ahead. Now with Fleming. Now go right. Luzato's going to send the free kick into the box, and that one's going to be cleared by Ramkeeson. Up in the air, Ollie's going to head it, try to take control, and it's going to be a Forrester throw-in on the near sideline. Throwing it in is Lynn Souza, over to Luzato. Now taken by Goshen, now back to Luzato. Now going to be taken by Granite. Granite is going to fake, and they're going to catch Luzato with tripping. Oh, excuse me. Or Lodson with tripping. Now Vitor over to Bathsheba on the far side. Bathsheba on the far side in between midfield and the 18-yard box. Now back to Vitor just outside the 18. And he's going to try to get over to Francois Valliere, and that's going to just roll past Francois Valliere. It's going to be a throw-in for Huntington. Near side just in front of Goshen's bench.
There are those costly turnovers we talked about in Goshen's own territory. See if Huntington can capitalize.
Lynn Souza now has it, trying to work middle. Going to send it back to midfield with Brown. Brown's going to cross it over to Hurtis. Hurtis looking to work into Goshen territory, and does. Now working down the far side. Going to send it into the 18, and that's going to be headed, but right to Fonseca. Right where he's standing. Didn't have to move an inch. And Fonseca's just going to get it into Bathsheba. Bathsheba now working on the far side, just inside the 18. Now gives it over to Granite. Granite's working about middle of Goshen territory. Over to Nussbaum. Now Francois Valliere on the near side, right in front of the Goshen bench. Now working with Smith. Smith now working down the sideline. Looking, and is going to lose it. Going to go right over to Rippey for Huntington. Now with Greenfield in the 18. Greenfield's going to cross it to the near side to Brown, just outside the 18. Now to Lynn Souza, right in front of the Huntington bench. Now over to Fleming on the near side, right in front of the Goshen bench. Now with Stanford, now back to Lynn Souza, now back to Lozato. Now over with Fleming, taken by Granite's. Now with Smith. Smith's going to get it back to Francois Valliere. Now with Vitor, with Nussbaum. Sitting at about 23.5 seconds left. And Souza's going to get, Lynn Souza's going to pick up the foul as he basically body checked Smith, and now the ref's going to be talking to Coach AP, Coach Aaron Patrick. As Francois Valliere is setting up to take the free kick, but Coach Patrick and the ref are still talking. Now they're done talking, and Francois Valliere is waiting for the ref to blow the whistle so they can put the ball into play. Ref's now talking with Lynn Souza. As Lynn Souza immediately gave him the high five after the play, so I don't think he did it on purpose. But ref still talking to him anyway. Everyone's taking their places. Looks to be Lynn Souza. Now Francois Valliere is about to take the shot.
21.5 have passed in the first half of play, 0-0 still.
Francois Valliere is going to fake it short and then go long. Going to get it to Smith. Smith now has it, trying to work down the near side and still has it, but now working all the way to the line, right in front of the near side corner flag, now taken by Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza is now working down the near side, and he's going to lose it, and it'll be a throw-in for Huntington.
Now they're going to get Ali Smith on a foul, pulled his jersey.
Yeah, they're going to catch him on a foul. Taking the free kick is De Sousa. De Sousa is going to get it over to Luzada. Luzada now right in front of the 18 in the middle. Going to leave it for Hurtis. Hurtis is going to cross it to Brown just outside the 18 on the near side. Now Lynn Souza for Huntington working down the sideline. Now with Brown. Just under 23 remaining here in the first half. Now over to Stanford. Stanford's going to cross midfield. Now over to Edlardson. Now back to Brown. Brown's going to try to send it through and does to Edlardson. Now with Lynn Souza. In between, right near side, right in front of Huntington's bench. With Brown. Now with De Sousa. De Sousa's going to put a move on Coburn, and Coburn can't quite stay with him. But he's going to send it out, and it'll be a throw-in for Goshen. Right by the corner flag. Francois Valliere into Vitor. Back to Francois Valliere. Back to Vitor. Right on the near side in front of the goal line. Now over to Fleming for Huntington. Now with Stanford, but that's going to be taken by Granitz. Now with Smith working down the near sideline with pace. He's going to slow it up. Going to get over to Granitz. Granitz now to Francois Valliere right in front of the Goshen bench on the near side. Now over to Vitor. Now with Badgeschieber. Badgeschieber right in front of the 18. Now with Granitz. Granitz working middle, trying to get across the 18. Now he's going to get it over to Spencer Ashelman on the far sideline. Spencer's going to send it in the 18. Coburn is there, and that's going to be headed and then cleared by a couple of Huntington defenders. Right to Nate Nussbaum. Nate Nussbaum's going to take the long shot, and that's going to go right over the crossbar. And that's to be a goal kick for Huntington. Just under 21 minutes remaining here in the first half. Greenfield's going to take this one.
Yeah, Nussbaum attempted that one from about 30 yards out, but we have seen him hit that as he knocked one home against Grace a couple games back.
Lynn Souza now has it near side just in front of the Goshen bench. Going to send it over to Fleming, right back to Lynn Souza in the same place. Now with Brown. Brown over to Greenfield just in front of the 18. Now with Hurtis on the far side. About midpoint of Huntington's territory. Now crossing midfield. Going to send it deep to Fleming. Francois Valliere is there. He's going to head it and then chest it right to Fonseca. Fonseca is going to get it over to Badgeschieber just outside the far side of the 18. Now with Vitor just in front of the 18. Now with Francois Valliere on the near side of the 18. Now with Smith. Smith right in front of Goshen's bench. Now crossing midfield. Now right in front of Huntington. Trying to get it Coburn. And does. Coburn's now running down the side. He's going to try to save it and doesn't. It'll be a goal kick for Huntington as couldn't quite keep up with his own kick ahead. Just under 20 minutes remaining here in the first half. Now with Brown on the near side of the 18. Now with Hurtis on the far side. Hurtis now working down the far sideline. At about midfield. Crossing midfield. Hurtis now going to send it ahead to Elodson. Now over with Rippey. Back to De Sousa. Now over to Luzada. And gets there. Luzada's going to fake. Left, go right. Lose it. Then get it right back. Now Elodson. Elodson's going to try to take a shot. Going to be knocked away by Vitor. but back to Luzada. Luzada is now working in the 18 on the far side, and he's going to lose it. Badshieber's going to try to clear it, but it's going to hit a couple of Huntington defenders, and now Nussbaum's finally going to clear it, but they're going to call a foul in their 18, in Goshen's 18, so it'll be a free kick for Goshen.
Yeah, Nussbaum just got shouldered to the ground after he made a great effort to clear the ball to stop the Huntington threat.
So we Fonseca taking the free kick. He's just going to send it right over to Badshieber on the far side, just inside the 18. Badshieber now working down middle of Goshen territory. Going to cross it. Gets it over to Stuart Ashman. Stuart Ashman working middle. And he's going to cross it to Smith, and does. Smith now has it on the near side right in front of the bench for Huntington. And he's going to make a nifty move and cross it. And then he's going to get slide tackled by Stanford. Now going to be sent down. Luzada now giving chase. Granite's fighting with him and doesn't quite get it. Now over to Lynn Souza on the near side, just outside the 18. He's going to cross into the 18, and it's going to miss everyone inside the 18. It'll be a goal kick for Goshen.
With that goal kick, we're going to have substitution number 20, Lucas Bontrager will check in for number 29, Murray Coburn. With a little under 17 and a half remaining.
Now with Huntington, Stanford now fighting. Nussbaum takes it away from Stanford, and he's going to set ahead, and they're just going to call a foul on Stanford there, as they're going to set the free kick.
Huntington already with 5 first half fouls. It's been a pretty chippy game this far, and that's what you get when you begin conference play.
Francois Valliere is going to put it back into play with Vitor. Now over to Badshieber on the far side, working about middle of Goshen territory, now with Granites. Now Vitor working middle of Goshen territory. And now over to Smith on the near side. Smith's over a couple of Huntington defenders. He's going to get it. Now with Ram Keeson, working the middle of Huntington territory. Now near side with Francois Valliere, now working down. Now with Smith on the near side. Smith's going to cross it, and it's going to get through to Stuart Ashman. He's just going to chip it to Spencer Ashman to hold on for Goshen possession. Now tries to get to Ram Keeson. It's going to be taken by Huntington now. Grecki now working down the far sideline, and it's going to be knocked away by Stuart Ashman. And Ram Keeson's going to get it. Now Stuart Ashman has it. Working down the far side is Bontrager, and that's going to be chipped away by Hurtis, and it'll be a Goshen throw-in on the far side, just a couple of yards in front of the corner flag. Throwing in to Spencer Ashelman to Bontrager, right back to Spencer Ashelman. Now with Ram Keeson. Ram Keeson is going to send it back to Grants about midfield. Now with Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere now in Goshen, Huntington territory. Now with Bontrager just outside the 18. Bontrager still has it. Now working down the near side, going to cross it into the 18. And that one's not going to do much damage. It'll be a goal kick for Huntington. 15 and a half remaining here in the first half. 0-0 here at John Ingold Athletic Complex on the campus of Goshen College.
Yeah, Goshen starting to get more aggressive now as they've made Greenfield and goal work a little bit more for Huntington.
Hurtis now working down about mid of Huntington territory on the far side. Now with Gripke. Gripke's now working, and that one's going to go out and be a Huntington throw-in. Looks to be throwing it in is DeCornick. Not DeCornick, Rippey. Throwing it into Grecki. Grecki now working into Goshen territory on the far side. Now it's going to cross to Lynn Souza on the near side. Lynn Souza looking to go middle, and does. With it is Stanford. Stanford giving pressure by Nussbaum, and he's just going to send it back to Hurtis. Hurtis is going to cross midfield again on the far side. It's over to Rippey. Now with it, still Rippey. He's going to send it back to Hurtis. Hurtis at about midfield on the far side, and they're going to call a...
Stuart Ashman's down on the far side. They're going to stop play.
They're going to stop play for a second here, as we're at 14:25 remaining here. Still 0-0 in this one. Looks like Ashelman is... He's sitting up now. Ref's talking to him. Ref's still talking to him. Now it's Nussbaum's over there. And it looks like he's going to get up. He's gotten up. And he's walking around a little bit. No word on what's happened yet. But he's up, and it looks like he's going to be staying in the game.
Probably just a cramp.
Yeah. Probably just a cramp. It's good they stay in the game, though. And looks like it's going to be a throw-in on the far side for Huntington, or is it going to be a free kick for Goshen? It's going to be a free kick for Goshen. Stuart Ashman's going to send it in, and he's just going to boot it deep for Greenfield. Greenfield's going to catch it in the 18, send it over to Hurtis on the far side of the 18. He's going to cross it to middle with Brown. Brown now crossing midfield on the near side. Now Lynn Souza has it just in front of the Goshen bench. Going to fake left, then right, then back left, then just go back. Now over to Brown. Brown's going to give it to Granitz. Granitz is going to send it to Borntrager. Borntrager's still running with it. Borntrager on the near side. No one's with him except for a couple of Huntington defenders. Smith now finally gets there. Going to send the 18, and that one's going to get headed. Still in the 18. Still in the 18. Finally cleared out the 18 by Huntington, but it's going to roll over to Spencer Ashelman. Spencer Ashelman's going to get over to Granitz. Granitz is going to send it back to the far side with Spencer Ashelman. Now Spencer trying to work middle. Going to cross it. Over there is Smith. Not going to quite get there, but it's going to roll to Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere now going to work it to Bontrager, who tries to get it over, but Smith's right there. And now cleared out by Brown. Now Fleming's going to chip it ahead to Erlodson, and that was going to be cleared out by Fonseca, who's going to come pretty far outside of the 18 to clear that one, and he's going to kick it all the way to the Huntington bench. Throwing it in right in front of the Huntington bench on the near side. Luzada. Luzada is going to work his way middle. Now with Stanford. Stanford's going to take a shot, and that was now with Luzada. Now Erladen. Now back to Luzada. Now with Lynn Souza. Now back to Erladen. Erladen's going to take a shot, and that one's going to be knocked away by a Goshen defender. And now back to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza trying to work middle, and does. Still working middle. Going to send it over to De Sousa on the far side, and he's just going to kick it out the back, and it'll be a goal kick for Goshen.
Yeah, that shot was about 30 yards to the right of the goal, not even a threat for the Maple Leafs. So a goal kick from Fonseca now.
As 12:10 remain here in the first half. Fonseca's going to send it to about midfield. Nussbaum and De Sousa are battling, and it's going to fall to Spencer Ashelman, and he's going to lose it, and they're going to call a foul on Goshen, I believe.
I think they might have got Spencer Ashelman with a handball.
Handball for Spencer Ashelman. Looks like Luzado's going to take this one. There's about 3 Huntington players on the ball, though, so no guarantee who's taking it. And it will be Luzada. Luzada's going to send in the 18 right to Fonseca, and he's going to catch that one.
An easy save for Fonseca. Didn't really have to move for that, but here comes Goshen.
Nate Nussbaum now working down the far side. Going to get it to Spencer Ashelman. Spencer Ashelman is alone, and they're just going to trip him up. They didn't even make a play on the ball in that one. And he's going to get a yellow card. Looks to be
Travis Ribby.
Yeah, looks to be Travis Ribby. They're just going to give him a yellow. As the ref is talking with, it looks to be both Ashelmans. Or, no, maybe Stewart and Bontrager? Smith and Bondraker,
I think
possibly?
that's Granite's
Granite's
and Stuart Ashman.
Stuart Ashman. Looks to be Stuart Ashman or Granite's taking it. 11 minutes exactly remaining here in the first half, and Granite's is going to take it, send it in the 18, and going to be headed by Nussbaum, and they're going to call a foul on Goshen in Huntington's 18, so there's going to be a free kick for Huntington there. And Greenfield is just setting up to boot it deep, and actually going to go short to Hurtis. Hurtis now with De Sousa. De Sousa's now middle, going to get over to Brown on the near side. Brown now working up the sideline. Now over to Lynn Sousa. Now back to Brown. Brown's going to get over to De Sousa. De Sousa's going to send it deep and just inches over Spencer Ashelman's head. But he's going to catch up, and they're going to send it into the 18, and that one's going to be headed away and then kicked and going to be cleared. Now Francois Valliere is going to get there, and he's going to clear it, and there is a, looks to be...
João Vitor is down in the box.
João Vitor down in the box. As...
Probably bumped heads on the head out that he prevented the Huntington defender.
As just under 10 minutes remain here in the first half. A couple of players looking ready to sub in. One for Goshen, one for Huntington. We'll see if they do. Vitor is now walking off on his own power, but it looks like he will be coming out of this one, and
probably going to have to pull him out just to check on his head, make sure he doesn't have a concussion or anything serious, so have to see who the Maple Leafs sub in for him.
Still waiting on word. A couple of players are subbing in, one for each side.
Yeah, coming into the game, number 6, Ty Sproat, the leading goal scorer for the Foresters, and then eventually checking in will be number 18, Lucas Villela for the Maple.
Still waiting on word as
Substitution for
the refs are still talking. It looks like Vitor might go back. And they're waiting on what's going on. Now look, the refs are going to have a conversation.
Vitor's got to come off for at least a little bit because of the injury, and then Villela is set to check in, but
and then they're still talking. No word, as it looks like
Stanford back on the field.
Stanford's coming back on the field.
So they're not going to award the Foresters the substitution quite yet, so they're going to wait for the next stoppage of play.
And they're just going to put it back into play as Francois Valliere. So no one has subbed in at all, it looks like. As that was a long sequence of events. Fleming now working middle in Goshen territory, going to get it over to Erladen. Now Luzada back to Erladen. Erladen now working into the 18, is going to cross it, and that one's going to miss a couple of crosses. As now all the subs are coming in.
Number 25, Jordan Morris will check into the game. Number 6, Ty Sproat. And number 34, Eric Okak. Coming out will be number 23, Noah Stanford, number 20, Noah Fleming, and number 12, Travis Rippey. Then the checking in into the game for the Maple Leafs will be number 18, Lucas Villela. Coming out will be number 7, Ali Smith.
Now with it is Bodstieber. Now over to Granitz. Granitz now working his way down the far side. He's going to hit it. Spencer Ashman down the far side line in Huntington territory. Spencer Ashman's going to cross it, but Greenfield is right there. And it's going to be sent in. Lynn Sousa now has it working middle of Huntington territory. Now over to De Sousa. Now back to Brown. Brown's just going to cross it over to Hurtis. Hurtis now working middle. Going to cross it in. And Granitz is going to pick that one. Over to Vilela. Vilela's going to send it ahead. That's Bontrager. Bontrager is by himself, and he's going to slow it up. It's still with it. Going to try to shoot, and it's going to be blocked by a couple of Huntington players. But now with Erladson for Huntington, and Vitor is going to clear it as he's back on the field, so it looks like he's okay. And now with Lusuza. Lusuza still has it. Now working down middle, and Francois Valliere is going to take it away from him. Now with Nate Nussbaum. Nussbaum now working middle. Now over to Vilela. Vilela is now going to get over to Ramkisen. Ramkisen is now going to get over to Stuart Asherman. Stuart Asherman now going to fake left and go right. Still looking to cross, and does. And that one's going to be picked up by Greenfield right in front of the goal line.
A lot going on right now. A couple loose balls, scrambles, and now we look to reset the field with a goal kick.
7.5 remaining here in the first half with Brown. Excuse me, De Sousa. Now going to fake left, go right. Gives it off to Luzada. Luzada's going to fake right, go left. Give it over back to De Sousa. De Sousa trying to work middle of Goshen territory. Now just going to send it to the near sideline with Lynn Sousa. Lynn Sousa going to get it over to, looks to be Fleming, and that one's going to be cleared.
Good defense from Matt Granitz. He plays a lot of hard hustle defense for the Maple Leafs.
Now with a few people. Now picked up by Luzada for Huntington. Now De Sousa. De Sousa is going to cross in 18, and that's going to be headed by Bodschieber. And now headed by Granitz just outside the 18. Now Ramkisen picks it up. Ramkisen's just going to chip it away. That one's going to roll out and be a Goshen throw-in. Now Lynn Sousa throwing it in. Battling is Erladen and Francois Valliere and Asherman. But now with Lynn Sousa for a Huntington throw-in. He's going to throw it in to, it looks to be Morris. Now going to be a foul on Stuart Asherman. And it's going to be Luzada and Lynn Sousa sending it in. Luzada is going to send it into Lynn Sousa. Lynn Sousa is going to send it back to Luzada. Luzada is going to try to get it back to Lynn Sousa, but it's going to be missed. Vilela now has it, going to fake both ways a few times and get it over to Stuart Ashman on the far side. Back to Vilela middle, and he's going to get back to Stuart Ashman on the far side. Now working middle is Stuart Ashman. Ashman's going to try to cross the Ramkisen and puts a little bit too much on it, but it's going to go back to Granitz. Huntington territory, now over to Nussbaum. Nussbaum's going to send it through. Now Bontrager. Bontrager's Stuart Ashman. Granitz is going to take the shot from 25 yards out and going to go way over the crossbar, and it'll be a goal kick for Huntington. As we're sitting about 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. 0-0 here in this one.
Looks like Granitz could have maybe worked for a better shot than that, but I guess he's settling with that.
Now on the far side with Hurtis. Hurtis looking to cross. He's going to send it middle to Greenfield, who's now out of the 18. Now with Brown on the near side of the 18. Brown's going to work in the middle to De Sousa. De Sousa looking to work back near, and now gets it to Lynn Sousa on the near sideline, just in front of the Goshen bench. And now Erladen, give it, no one pressuring him, now a few, and he's going to lose it, picked up by Vitor. Vitor is going to get over to Vilela. Vilela is going to send it over to Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere now working down the near sideline. Now with Stuart Ashman. Stuart Ashman is going to work back to Vitor. Vitor is going to swing it middle to Granitz. Granitz going to send it over to Bodschieber on the far side. Now with Bontrager. Bontrager is going to get back to Bodschieber. Bodschieber now back to Bontrager on the far side. Now to Granitz about mid. Now with Francois Valliere on the near side. Francois Valliere is going to send the through to Vilela. Vilela is going to get it, and now going to send the through to Stuart Ashman. Stuart Ashman is going to cross, but it's going to be picked up by Brown for Huntington. Now back to Francois Valliere for Goshen. Still in Huntington territory. Nussbaum working middle. Going to cross to the far side to Spencer Ashelman. And giving chase is Dig Kornick. Now still with Ashelman and going to be hit by... He's going to send it to the 18, but it's going to be cleared out, but it'll be a Goshen throw-in.
With just over 3 minutes left in the first half, still 0-0 between Goshen College and Huntington University.
Looking with his Bontrager back to Stuart Ashelman on the far side. Spencer Ashelman now trying to work back middle. Now he's going to set it into the box. Only one there for Goshen was his brother, Stuart Ashelman, and it'll be grabbed by Greenfield. Greenfield going to get it over to Hurtis on the far side for Huntington. Over to Sproat, but he's just going to send it right back to Hurtis. Now with Brown working middle of Huntington territory. He's going to get it to the far side, right in front of the Goshen bench to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza's going to get it to Erladen. Erladen's going to try to go to his right, and it'll be a throw-in for Huntington as Francois Valliere just knocks it right between his legs out. And now there's a whistle being blown, and it looks like Francois Valliere is going to pick up a yellow.
Yellow card issued to Goshen, number 2, Ethan Francois Valliere.
As that's now one for both sides. Now Lynn Souza going to throw it in. Waiting for the ref to blow the whistle. Does he? Now he throws it in to Luzada. Luzada is going to try to get middle. Francois Valliere is going to clear it away. Now with Vilela. Vilela's going to fake forward and just go behind him. Now he's going to send it far side with Spencer Ashelman, but not quite enough leg on that one. Going to be picked up by Sproat, but now picked up by Nussbaum. Nussbaum's going to send it to far sideline with Bontrager. Bontrager now working into the 18. Now Spencer Ashelman. That's a goal for Goshen College! Spencer Ashelman with the goal right in front of the ball in the mid of the 18. And Spencer Ashelman had the clearest shot on goal of anyone tonight, and he nets it right in the back of the net.
That was a brilliant pass set up by number 20, Lucas Bontrager. Just threaded the needle through a couple Huntington Forester defenders, and then that drew the goalie to his right and left Spencer Ashelman with a wide open net to send that one home.
As put back into play by Huntington. Now far side, Francois Valliere tries to knock it away. Now with Luzada. Luzada's trying to get it through, and that one's going to go out, and it'll be a Goshen throw-in. No, they're going to say it's going to go off a Goshen player. Now throwing in is Lynn Souza. And throwing it in. Now with, it looks back to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza's going to try to get it through. Now with Luzada. And now they're going to take a shot is Lynn Souza, but it's going to be picked up by Fonseca. Booted deep. Going all the way into Huntington territory. With it is De Sousa, but he's just going to send it right back to Hurtis. Hurtis is going to send it down the far side. Going to be headed away by Nussbaum. Ramkeeson now has it. Now with Bontrager. Bontrager's going to kick it into Huntington territory. But Hurtis is going to send it right back. Now Nussbaum going to knock it down. Now it's going to be kicked around a couple of times. Picked up by Souvin for Huntington. And now he's going to get grabbed by... Now he's going to grab Francois Valliere quite clearly. And it'll be a penalty on Souvin. And it'll be a Goshen throw-in as the first half runs out. That's the end of the first half here. It's 1-0 Goshen College after one half. Off the foot of Spencer Ashelman. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout and be back with some halftime report here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Goshen College athletics. Welcome back here to Goshen College men's soccer here on 91.1 The Globe. We're here at the John Ingold Athletic Complex as the men are up 1-0 at halftime over Huntington University. With me, I'm Zach Begley. With me here is William Troyer. So, Will, did you see any good things about the first half from Goshen and Huntington?
Well, possession was heavily favored by Huntington in the first, 10 to 15 minutes, and then Goshen started applying more pressure in Huntington territory, and that led to some turnovers. And then we saw Goshen take 2 corner kicks to the only one for Huntington. So as the first half progressed, Goshen grew more aggressive, and that showed when they scored the goal in the 43rd minute off the assist from Lucas Bontrager through a host of Huntington defenders. And then Spencer Ashman was able to put it in on a fairly open net. And that's where we stand now, 1-0 Goshen College over Huntington.
So, looking at some things going into the second half, what do you think is important keys for Goshen College as they go into the second half?
For the Maple Leafs, they need to, they played great defense in the back line. Francois Revalier has been playing great on the near side. We've also seen Matt Granitz in the middle of the field controlling the defense for the Maple Leafs in absence of Tevin Jilks. So as long as the Maple Leafs keep playing their defense, the offense is going to come because, as we've already talked about, they've got a host of players that are able to create and score. So as long as the Maple Leafs defense is the same, they should pull.
Do you got some stats for us there, Will? Not have stats. My bad. Well, to 1 minute. The Crossroads. Some stats here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. Thank you. Do. Okay. Thank you. All right, it's connected. Welcome back here on the campus of Goshen College as we are calling men's soccer here at the John Ingold Athletic Complex. It is 1-0 Goshen over Huntington University. I'm Zach Begley. With me is William Troyer.
We've got a couple finals around the league. Grace defeated Mount Vernon 4-0. Taylor defeated St. Francis 1-0. Bethel is losing to Spring Arbor 1-0. And then finally here, just a 1-0 game between Goshen and Huntington.
Yeah, looking at men's soccer against Huntington University, I mean, it's obviously 1-0 here in this first one.
I got some stats now. So
you got some stats now.
Goshen is out shooting Huntington 9-8, with 1 assist coming on the foot of Lucas Bontrager. We have 6 fouls for either side, 1 yellow for each side, and then Fonseca in goals made 3 saves for the Maple Leafs.
So strong play from the Maple Leafs here. It's the first half for Fonseca. Goshen has already broken the shutout as Huntington came into this game 19th in the country in shutouts with 6. So looking good is Goshen.
Yeah, coming into this game also, Huntington was outscoring their Crossroads League opponents 9-2, and Goshen was being outscored 9-7, so good to see Goshen maybe getting their feel in the Crossroads League now.
Right, as they're coming into this one in Crossroads League action, 1-3-1. Not a great record in the Crossroads League, but obviously the Crossroads League is one of the toughest leagues in the country for basically every sport.
Yeah, the Maple Leafs are tied for last, but you know they are very capable to beat anybody in the Crossroads League. So you want to see a better regular season Crossroads League
Better
record.
Yeah, better record.
But you know they're very capable to make it up and move themselves into the top 5 at least, and then take some momentum into the Crossroads League tournament.
Right, as there's only, not including this one, there's only about 3 games left here in regular season play before the tournament comes around. And last year we saw Goshen make the tournament final and fall to Grace 2-1 off a bicycle kick at the end of that one.
I believe that was the semifinal, though, because Spring Arbor was waiting the winner of that one.
Right, semifinal against Grace on the road last year. So, I mean, Goshen, tough league, you know, tough conference to play in. And if you're Goshen, you want to keep working. Looking at some other sports actions here today. Women's soccer beat Huntington University on the road. That one started at 1-0 in overtime. Women's volleyball, or men's tennis, got rained out yesterday due to rain. Women's volleyball fell 3-2 yesterday to Indiana University Kokomo. They fell yesterday at 6 to Indiana Institute of Technology 3-0. They fell to Lawrence Tech University today at 10 a.m. 3-0. 4 had a little rough stretch there as they fell to after a couple of tough losses. I'm out and be back with more halftime information in this one here on 91.1 The Globe. Your home for Goshen College Athletics. I said 2. Wait. Yeah, 2. Oh. I'm trying to look at something to talk about.
Yeah.
Halftime's always rough.
Mm.
Especially because there's no, really there's no stat.
Yeah.
It's not like basketball halftime when you can talk your head off forever. It's fine. Welcome back here to Goshen College Men's Soccer here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Goshen College Athletics. I'm Zach Begley. With me here is William Troyer, as we have about 2.5 minutes remaining here before the men retake the field for the second half. Goshen College is up 1-0 over the women. As we talked a little bit earlier in this half, Goshen College had looked good after about Huntington looked good for about the first 10 minutes in this one before Goshen College really took over this one and really put pressure on Huntington's defense before finally breaking through. As Huntington came into this one 19th in the country with about 6 shutouts a game. So some strong play here in the first half for Goshen. Will, if you're looking at coming into the second half, I mean, Bontrager's been playing well with the assist to Spencer Ashelman. I mean, Smith's been playing well, Belela. They've really been running down the sideline quite well. They've been working the sidelines quite well in this one, and they haven't had as many turnovers, I would say. Sort of looking at some of the things we talked about before the game, controlling not doing turnovers and things of that nature. Will, what do you think about that?
Yeah, the Maple Leafs cut down their turnovers. They had one pretty obvious one in the first half in their own half of the territory, but then we saw Huntington commit a couple, and that came back to bite them as we saw Ollie Smith generate a corner off of one, and then, yeah, so Huntington's been not really very aggressive. They've taken 8 shots, yes, but none of them have been real threats to the Maple Leafs. And then Fonseca has 3 saves, and only one real threat is he had to dive to his right and knocked it out for a corner. So Maple Leafs playing well top to bottom, and Huntington's going to need to step up the offensive intensity to win this game.
As we're coming in with about 30 seconds remaining here in the halftime break, and both teams have taken the field and talking about what they want to do in the second half to really work on their things, pumping themselves up. Goshen will start with the ball to start the second half. Goshen will be moving right to left on your radio dial, and vice versa if you're watching on the live stream. Or no, the same if you're watching on the live stream, right to left and left to right for Huntington University.
Granite's took the free kick. Coburn yellow in the 15th. The Maple Leafs have had more good opportunities than the Foresters have generated.
They're going to start this one for Goshen. And waiting for the ref to blow the whistle here. Now Vila sends it back to Granitz. Granitz is going to get it over to Francois Valliere on the far side. Now with Nussbaum back to Francois Valliere on the far side. Now over to Vitor. Vitor looking to go to the near side but doesn't. Back to Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere's looking to cross and does. Gets it over to Badestieber. Badestieber right in front of the 18. Now going to work back to the far side over to Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere is going to try to send it through to Bontrager, taken by Huntington. Now working down the far sideline is Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza looking to cross into the 18. Going to, and it's going to be headed away by Badestieber, picked up by Ram Keeson. Ram Keeson is going to send it ahead, picked up by Rippey for Huntington. Now with De Souza. Now back to Rippey. Rippey looking to work far sideline and doesn't. Taken by Bontrager. Now with Ram Keeson. Ram Keeson trying to work far. Near, and it's going to go and be a throw-in for Huntington. Ribby looking to throw it in. Gets it into Hurtis. Hurtis is going to cross it to Brown. Brown now working down the middle of the field. Crossing midfield. Now to the far sideline to Lynn Souza. Now back to Brown. Brown's going to cross it near sideline to Hurtis. Hurtis looking to cross midfield and does. Going to get it over to Fleming. Fleming now try to work back middle. He's going to fake to his right a couple of times and then does. And Ryan Keeson's going to get called for the foul as he hooked arms with Fleming. And going to be taking The free kick looks to be Luzada. Luzada is going to fake going far and send it all the way back to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza is going to send it into the 18, and that's going to be headed a couple of times. And Luzada, that ball's sitting as Fonseca tried to save it, but it's been cleared out by a couple of Goshen players. Now back with Huntington in the 18 is Hurtis. Hurtis is going to try to set it in. Now with, looks to be Sproat, but Sproat can't quite get a foot on it. It's going to roll out and be a goal kick, as that was a close one there for Huntington to try to put that one in the back of the net. Best chance they've had all night.
Yeah, Sproat just didn't quite get that one cleanly. He is their leading goal scorer with 6 goals.
As 3 minutes have gone by here in the second half. Setting up for the goal kick is Fonseca. Fonseca is going to boot it deep. Now Ramkison going to go over Ramkison's head, but he's going to find a way to get it. And now Ramkison is down, and they're going to call a foul on Huntington. Didn't quite see who the foul was on, but Ramkison is still down.
A pretty obvious trip. Easy call for the ref to make.
Ramkison's now up. Granis is going to put the ball back into play on the free kick. Now working down the middle is Francois Valliere. Now down the far sideline with Bontrager. Bontrager trying to work it back and can't. Now down the far sideline for Huntington with Lynn Souza. And going to be cleared by Ramkison. Vitor. 41 minutes remaining here in the second half. Throw in with Lynn Souza. Going to throw it into Brown. Brown about midfield on the far sideline. Now going to send it back to middle with Hurtis. Hurtis is sitting right past midfield. Now into the 18, cleared out by Vitor. Right to Brown. Brown now working to the far sideline now with Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza working back middle. Going to try to get it to Erladen, but can't quite. Now with Bontrager for Goshen. Now with Vitor. Vitor ahead, and that's going to be picked up by Hurtis for Huntington. Now with Rippey. Back to Hurtis. Hurtis is going to send to the far sideline over with Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza now crossing midfield. Looking to go middle. And doesn't. Now up ahead with Erladen. Erladen's going to fake it. Now into the 18. Going to cross it, and that one's going to miss. It looks to be Bontrager. Bontrager now trying to work. Bontrager now gets ahead to Vilela. Vilela is going to get for Goshen, as it looks to be Spencer Ashelman taking this one.
Yellow card awarded to Travis Hurtis.
That'll be Huntington's second of the game. Just under 40 minutes remaining here in the first half. 6 minutes have gone by. Or second half, I mean. Now Granitz is going to take it. Fleming is waiting as we wait on the ref to get into place and blow the whistle. Granitz is now going to boot it deep. Going to try to get in the 18. Doesn't quite get it there. Nussbaum has it. Nussbaum's heading it into the 18. Going to be headed out by Hurtis. As now Nussbaum has it in the 18. Now with Smith. And they're going to call a foul on Huntington in the 18. As it looks like a few players from both sides were tripping up.
They're going to get Ali Smith on the push-off there.
Now with Lynn Souza on the far sideline. Now with Brown. Brown working middle of Huntington territory. Going to cross it over to Hurtis. Hurtis looking to go deep. Now just going to go short to Rippey here on the near sideline right in front of Huntington's bench. Going to go right back to Hurtis. Hurtis is going to send it. Now with Luzada. Luzada now with Erladen. Erladen now over to Lynn Souza on the far sideline. Lynn Souza is going to fake outside and go in. Now back to Erladen. Erladen in the 18, going to try to cross, and unsuccessful. Will be a goal kick for Goshen, as Looks like a couple of Goshen defenders didn't let him get the outside angle, and he was forced to just go out.
Goshen lucky to avoid the corner kick. It almost looked like one of the, João Vitor maybe looked like he knocked that one out, but the ref saw different, so goal kick for Fonseca.
Fonseca sending this one deep. Now Nussbaum is battling with a couple of Huntington players, and Badschieber tried to get it, and he tripped. Now running down is Sproat. Sproat's going to cross it, but he's just going to send it too far for Erladen, and Erladen's going to have to chase it down as threat was missed for Huntington, and Goshen catches a break after the Badschieber slip. Throwing it in for Huntington will be Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza's going to get it into Erladen on the far side, and that's going to be knocked away by Francois Valliere, and it'll be a Huntington corner, the first corner of the half, with 37.5 remaining here in the second half. Taking it looks to be Luzada. Luzada's going to send it to 18, and it's going to be knocked away and cleared after Fonseca couldn't quite get a handle on it, but it'll be cleared out. Now Fleming's going to get it, but it's going to be headed by Bontrager. Smith now giving chase, now has it working down the far sideline, just crossing, passing the bench. Smith still has it, working 18, trying to cross it in. Cannot. He's going to just give it back to Vilela. Vilela's going to fake like he's going to swing, and still trying to get it into the 18. Now he's going to fake back outside, and he's going to cross it, and going to be knocked away by Greenfield on the corner, on the cross, as that one was close to being headed in by Goshen. Now Francois Valliere for Goshen, trying to get it down the far sideline now with Lynn Souza. Now trying to work back middle. Now going to get to the far side with Erladen. Erladen now working down the far sideline. Now knocked away by a couple of Goshen defenders with Francois Valliere. Now Bontrager working down the far sideline. Now with Smith. Now with Francois Valliere. Going to kick it far. And it's going to go. It's going to end up with Greenfield on the far side of the 18. Now with Hurtis. Hurtis is going to send it ahead to Rippey. Rippey right in front of Huntington's bench. Now going to work back middle. Now back with Hurtis. Hurtis now over with Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza now on the far sideline trying to work back middle. Going to get it over to Stanford. Stanford's going to get it over to Brown. Brown's not going to send it into the just outside the 18. Now with Sprout. Sprout going to Lynn Souza just in outside. Stanford now with Hurtis. Hurtis trying to work to the sideline. Gets it there. Now with and it's going to be, he can't quite spin. It'll be a throw in. Spencer Ashman throw it in for the Maple Leafs.
Great team defense from the Maple Leafs there.
As now Hurtis has it, and it'll be a not a Goshen throw in. Oh, they're going to call foul on Vilela, it looks to be, and it'll be a free kick. Now Brown. Brown over to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza now trying to work middle. Gets it over to De Souza. Now back to Lynn Souza. Now back to De Souza, now working the far sideline. He's going to try to fake inside and go out, and then it'll just be a goal kick for Goshen, it looks, or
going to be a corner.
No, it's going to be a corner for Huntington, as they're going to say it went off Francois Valliere.
Second Huntington corner of the half.
As we're at 34:20 remaining here in the first half. Second half.
The first corner they had was very close to going in.
This one is going to be short. It's going to be headed by a couple of Goshen defenders. Now battling with it. Bontrager's going to get there. Now Hurtis tried, and then Badschieber's going to knock it out, and it'll just be a corner on the other side. Taking this one is Hurtis. Just under 34 remaining here in the second half. Taking it will be Lynn Souza, not Hurtis. As setting up here. Lynn Souza now taking it. It's going to be sent into the 18 and headed, but grabbed by Fonseca just inside the left post.
Another nice save for the junior goalkeeper out of Portugal.
Fonseca's going to boot this one deep. And now with it is Brown for Huntington. Now Hurtis working about middle of Huntington territory. Now with Rippey. Now going to send it back to Hurtis. Hurtis now going to send it over to Brown. Brown now going to send it over to Lynn Souza on the far sideline. Lynn Souza back to Brown. Back over to Hurtis. Hurtis now working middle. And that's going to be headed, but going to fall aimlessly to the outside of the left post, and it'll be a goal kick. And now Stuart Ashelman coming back into this one. Coming out as Lucas Vilela. Still the goal kick for Fonseca.
Stuart Ashelman, that is, brings even more speed than the quick Vilela on the outside.
Fonseca looking to go deep with this one. Going to go to about midfield. Going to be headed back into territory. Vitor is going to send it back into Huntington territory. Going to bounce right over Bontrager's head. Now with Brown. Brown's going to send it over to Erladen. Erladen's going to send it back to Lynn Souza. Now with Luzado. Now with Brown. Now with Hurtis on the about midfield of Huntington territory. Now with Greenfield. Now with Brown. Brown now crossing midfield. Going to send it deep down the far sideline. Knocked away by Francois Valliere. Ollie Smith now working down the far sideline. Still has it. Going to be cleared by Brown. And it's still not picked up by any one player. Now Lynn Souza. Now Stanford. Back to Lynn Souza. And they're going to call a foul on it. Looks to be Bontrager. Or Granite's. Looks to be Granite's. And they're going to send the free kick in quickly. But the ref is going to call it back. As they didn't set it up quick. They went too fast. Now, is he awarding a yellow card? No, he's just talking. The ref, and it looks to be De Sousa are having a conversation. Is Brown. Lynn Souza with it on the far sideline. Erladen now working middle. Now over to Stanford. Back to Erladen working middle. Going to be cleared by Vitor. Now with De Sousa. De Sousa trying to work back middle. Going to Stanford. Boschieber's going to fake it a couple of times. Send it back to Vitor. Vitor's going to fake it now. Taken by Vitor. They're going to take a shot, and that's going to be a goal for Huntington after a poor turnover in the 18 by Goshen, and that's going to tie it up at 1 with 30 minutes remaining here in the second half.
Yeah, there are those bad turnovers in their own territory. Boschieber got it down to himself and then passed it back to Vitor, who tried to spin out of it and turned it over and left Jake Erlinson with the open net to put it home.
Now, Granite's Francois Valliere going to set it, and it's going to be taken. Now, Erlotson working down the far sideline. Going to leave it for Stanford. Now, back to Erlotson. Now with bond trigger for Goshen. Going to leave it for Smith. Smith trying to work down the far sideline, and they're going to call a foul on, it looks to be Lynn Souza. Smith now picking up another foul, be another free kick. Taking it will be Francois Valliere.
Nah, no foul.
No, they're not calling a foul. They're going to say it just went out. Granite's now has it. Now with Bodschieber. Bodschieber's going to get it over to Spencer Ashman, who gets it to Stuart Ashman. Stuart Ashman's going to spin off, try to go, but Hurtis is going to be there. But Ramkiesen's right there on the clear. Now Spencer has it, looking to cross it in, and it's going to be headed by, looks to be Rippey. Now picked up by Stanford. Now with Sprout. And Bodschieber can't stay with him, but Spencer Ashman's going to get it, and he's going to knock it off of Sprout, and it's going to be a Goshen throw-in.
Great hustle play from the senior Spencer Ashelman.
And now up in the air, still being headed a few times. Now Granite's, he's going to kick it into Huntington territory. Going to be headed a few more times. Still not quite picked up by anyone. And now picked up by Lawson. Now back to Lynn Souza. Now over to De Souza. De Souza's going to send it, but right to Bodstieber. Bodstieber's going to send it right back to Nussbaum. Nussbaum still has it. Going to get it over to Francois Valliere. Now with Granites. Now with Nussbaum. Now with Smith. Smith trying to work back middle, and they're going to, I guess, call foul on Smith.
Yeah, Smith with a push in the back.
Taking it looks to be De Souza. Going to send it over to Hurtis. Hurtis working down the middle. Going to cross midfield. Lotson, Francois Valliere there with him. Now going to be headed in the air. Now going to be headed by Vitor. Now picked up by Smith. Smith's looking to get it out of the box, and does, right to Lynn Souza for Huntington. Huntington now working middle. Lynn Souza working middle. Nussbaum giving him some pressure. Still has it now in the 18, and going to take it but right to Fonseca. Fonseca's going to get that one.
Good save from Fonseca.
Fonseca's saved it every good opportunity he's had. That goal was gonna almost impossible to save that one. Now a Goshen throw in Francois Valliere with just under 26 remaining here in the second half. Into Vitor. Vitor's gonna send it. Go right over Rankins' head. Tried to get to Stuart Ashman, picked up by Hurtis. Now with Spencer Ashelman. Tries to get back to Rankison, goes right over his head once again. Now Spencer Ashman with it still. Spencer now working down the middle of Huntington territory. Going to get through to Stewart. Stewart just outside the 18 on the near side. Trying to work it in. Still with it. He's going to put it through Hurtis' legs, but taken by De Souza, who was playing defense behind him. Now with Luzada. Matt Granit's running with him. And Granit's can't quite get the ball. Francois Valliere's there to knock it away, and looks like they're going to call a foul on someone. Looks to be Granit's, I think.
Yeah, Granit's with the hook, but he thought he was being hooked, so.
So it's going to be a free kick from about 10 yards away from the 18 on the near side. Now the ref looks to be talking with just trying to get 20. Still talking with the ref. Still talking with the ref.
Very, very long talk with the ref. Not sure what that was all about, but back into action, here we go.
Luzada waiting for the ref to blow the whistle. Now does. He's going to send this one not into the 18. He's just going to send it to the far sideline. Goshen set up for a shot into the 18, but did not take in. Lynn Souza now has on the far sideline. Now to Brown middle. Now back over to Hurtis. Hurtis working middle of Goshen territory. Now cross into the 18 and headed and still rolling, and that one's going to roll out and be a goal kick for Goshen, as Hurtis put a little too much on that one. Now Fonseca ready to set up for the goal kick. He's just going to do it quickly, get it over to Botschieber, and that one's going to be too hard, and it's going to roll away, and it'll be a throw-in for Huntington on the far side. Or they're going to say he didn't set it quick enough, so they're going to let him redo it. Catching a break here is Goshen on this one.
Yeah, that would have been a bad turnover for the Maple Leafs. The ref saved them though.
Now Francois Valliere trying to save it, and that's another turnover in Goshen territory, and that's going to be a Huntington throw-in. Throwing in now with De Sousa. Now going to be sent back. Now Nussbaum, and they're gonna catch him with a tripping.
It's going to be a yellow card for.
Is it De Sousa? Looks to be De Sousa with the yellow card. That's the third one for Huntington on this one. 24.5 remaining here in the game for this one. Taking the free kick will be Vitor, or it will be Granite. Granite will be taking the free kick. Waiting for the ref to finish putting down who he gave the last yellow card to. Is Granite and the whistle. Whistle's being blown. Granite is going to send this one short to Botschieber. Botschieber's going to put it on the ground to Ramkieson. Ramkieson's going to send it back to Botschieber. Botschieber still working in Huntington territory. Still trying to figure out where to go with it. Gets it to Ramkieson, and Ramkieson can't quite get a hold of it. But still back to Botschieber in Huntington territory. Now over to Stuart Ashman. Stuart Ashman's going to put it past a couple of Huntington players. Still has it. Working in the 18, and he's going to lose it, and it will be a goal kick?
Yep.
It'll be a goal kick
for Huntington.
Has a couple of players were calling. No? Maybe a corner? I don't know. It's in. Wait, there's two balls on the field now. And that was a confusing moment there, because I think Ashelman thought he was getting the corner, but the ref called a goal kick. Hurtis now with the ball, working in the middle of Huntington territory, trying to stay in middle. Now into Goshen territory is Fleming. Fleming working middle, going to get it over to De Sousa. Now over to Luzato. Luzato's going to send it far side for Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza now being guarded by Smith. Now over to Lawson. Now being cleared up by Francois Valliere. Back to Brown. Brown still working in Goshen territory on the far side. No with Lynn Souza. Now over to Sanford. And now with Brown. Now with De Sousa. Now with Sprout. Now in the air. Going to be headed by Granite. Trying to get it to Bontrager and doesn't. And now they're going to call some sort of foul on someone.
It was an offsides about 7 kicks ago that the ref just missed.
So they're calling an offsides 7 kicks late, looks to be. Vitor going to set up. Granite's going to kick this one. Now with Botschieber. Botschieber working down. Going to get it to Stuart Ashman. Now Botschieber. Stuart Ashman faking. Now with Granite. Granite is going to send down the far sideline to Ollie Smith, or Bontrager. Bontrager's going to try to save the long pass. Can't quite curve it back into play, and it'll be a goal kick for the Huntington Foresters.
Substitute 7, Tristan Schmucker checking in for number 17, Jamel Ramkieson. A little bit of a defensive sub. It appears. Please.
As it is still 1-1, 21 and a half minutes remaining here in the second half. With the ball is Brown. Brown's going to give it over to De Sousa. De Sousa now working middle of Goshen territory. Gets it over to Erlassen. Now, knocked away by Nussbaum. Stuart Asherman giving chase to Stanford. Now going to be knocked back to Greenfield. Greenfield's going to send it over to Brown. Brown now on the far side. Looking across midfield. Gives it over to Lynn Souza on the far sideline. Lynn Souza's trying to work back middle. Gets it over to Sprout. Sprout now over to Luzada. Luzada looking to work far side as Rippey is by himself over in the corner. Now there, just under 21 minutes remaining, and his shot's just going to go right to Fonseca, right in front of the goal. Fonseca tried to get it to Stuart Asherman, but Rippey recovered quickly, so he still has the ball. Now he's going to boot it deep. Stuart Asherman now going to try to set it up for that one. Now it's going to roll over to Spencer Asherman. Spencer Asherman trying to work down the near sideline and is unsuccessful. Now with Smucker right in front of midfield. Smucker's going to get it over to Bodstreber. Bodstreber's going to send it over to Nussbaum. Nussbaum trying to work down the far side. Now in the middle. Now with Smucker. Smucker trying to cross and does to Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere looking to go deep, but goes short to Bontrager. Now with Granitz. Granitz is sending it over to Stuart Asherman. Stuart Asherman middle, just outside the 18, trying to work middle to get a clear shot off, but doesn't. That's going to be booted to Granitz. Now with Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere working down the far sideline. Now he's going to slow it up and give it to Smith. Smith's going to cross in 18. And just over the head of Stuart Asherman. Now with, looks to be Grecki for Huntington. And Smucker's going to knock the through ball away. And it'll be a throw-in for Huntington. Throwing it in will be Rippey. Rippey throwing it in to De Sousa. Now to Luzada. Now over to Brown. Brown working midfield. Now on the far sideline. Crossing the midfield line is Lynn Souza. Now over to Erlassen. Back to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza looking to work middle. Gets it to De Sousa. Right in the middle. De Sousa's going to fake right and go left. Now working middle. Going to chip it in 18, but just a little too far ahead for Erlassen, and it's going to be headed away by Francois Valliere. Now with Lynn Souza, middle. Now over to Erlassen. Erlassen can't quite get a handle on it. Over to Francois Valliere. Back to Erlassen. Now Erlassen trying to work in the 18. Francois Valliere is going to knock it away, and it'll be a corner for Huntington.
Huntington's fourth corner of the second half to Goshen 0.
18.5 remaining here in the second half. As setting up for the corners, Huntington looks to be Lynn Souza taking that one. This one. Setting into the 18 is Lynn Souza. That's going to go over everyone's head, and they're going to call a foul on someone on Huntington in the box. It'll be a free kick for Goshen. A few players looking to check in the next stoppage of play. Now with Smucker. Smucker almost lost it. He's going to get away with this one and gets over to Spencer Asherman. Spencer Asherman couldn't quite get a handle on it. And they're going to sub in.
Number 25 for Huntington, Jordan Morris will come into the game, along with number 8, Bradley Gerke. Coming into the game for the Maple Leafs, number 29, Murray Coburn. Checking out will be number 7, Ollie Smith.
As 17.5 remains here in the second half. Throwing it in for Huntington is Rippey. Going to get it over to Gerke, who just checked in, and Gerke can't quite get a handle on. It'll be a goal kick for Goshen. As Gerke had a beat on his defender, but the ball was even too fast for him. Fonseca's going to just put it into Bodstreber real quick. Bodstreber now working in the 18 on the near side. Going to send it deep to Stewart. And Stewart's going to save it in, but can't. But too far out for him to hold on to it. So De Sousa from Huntington has it now. Trying to work down the near side line. And it's going to roll out and be a Goshen throw-in. Spencer Asherman going to throw in this one. Just going to throw it in quickly to Bodstreber. Bodstreber's going to get it over to Vitor. Vitor's going to fake like he's going to go to the far side and stay near. Now with Stuart Asherman, and Stuart Asherman's going to get the foul called on him as Rippey.
Got to be careful. He's already picked up one yellow this game. A very aggressive play over the top.
as he basically just jumped over and then put his head into what looked to be Stuart Ashman's head instead of the ball. Middle. Now gonna work it to the far sideline to 18 and does. Now back out, Smucker with it. Smucker's gonna take a shot and go just left of the right, just right of the right crossbar. Be a goal kick for Huntington. Taking it will be Greenfield. Still 1-1 here with 15.5 remaining here in the second half. Hurtis now has the ball working middle of Huntington's territory. Stuart Ashman starting to close in, and that one's going to roll away. Stuart and Rippey giving chase, and Stuart's going to try to get it, and they're going to call a foul on Rippey there as he tripped up Stuart Ashman as Rippey is on back-to-back plays. Fouled Stuart Ashman. Granitz is going to send it deep, going, and that one's going to go right to Hurtis, but Stuart Ashman's right there, and it's not. He's not going to quite get it, and it'll be cleared out by Huntington. Now back to Granitz. Granit's going to try to go, and they're going to call a foul on Morris.
And now Huntington is starting to just shove Goshen players down.
As Granitz is looking to set up the free kick. Seeing if he's going to go deep or just wait short. He's going to send it deep to Stuart Ashman, and Rippey falls, but that ball is too far for Ashman. They're going to say he saved it, but right to it. Never mind, they're going to call the goal kick. As Greenfield's going to take the goal kick here on this one.
Checking into the game for Huntington, number 4, Reed Burton. Checking out will be number 23, Noah Stanford.
Greenfield now waiting to take the goal. Ref blows the whistle. Greenfield's going to take it. He's just going to send it short to Brown. Brown now working middle of Huntington territory. Now to the far sideline with Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza working back middle. Going to cross it all the way over to the near side with Hurtis. Hurtis now working middle of Huntington territory. Now over to De Souza. De Souza looking to go back middle, but going to fake middle and send it over to Rippey on the near sideline. Rippey now trying to work back middle. Now working back sideline. Now working back middle. Now taken away by Stuart Ashman. Going to send it through Rippey's legs. Then going to fake both Gerke and Rippey as he goes backwards. Then send it through, and Bontrager's alone with the goalkeeper, and Greenfield just barely saves it. As if Bontrager had just been able to get a foot on it, that would have been a goal because it was him in the goal. No one was with him.
Beautifully set up by Stuart Ashman.
Luzada has it now with De Souza. De Souza's going to try to send it in, and that one's going to be too hard as both teams on back-to-back plays can't quite get the cross. And it'll be a goal kick for Goshen College. 13 minutes remaining here in the second half and the game. Bodschieber with it. Now to Smucker. Back to Bodschieber just outside the 18 on the near side. Now crossing it to middle with Vitor. Vitor almost loses it, but regains it. No one around him. Francois Valliere, and that one's too far, and it's turnover in Goshen territory, and it'll be a throw-in for Huntington. Looking to take the throw-in is Lynn Souza.
Another routine pass just sent too wide, and another turnover in their own territory.
Lynn Souza is going to throw it in to Morris. Morris still has it, going to leave it off for Burton. Now on the sideline with Lawson, and that one's going to be headed and still going, and it'll be a Goshen College goal kick.
So the Maple Leafs escape another turnover in their own territory off of some good team defense in the own box.
Taking the goal kick will be Fonseca. 11 and 45 seconds remaining here in the second half and the game. Fonseca's going to send it to about midfield. Going to go. Coburn's going to hit it over his head, but not quite. Now it's just being headed and kicked around. No one's really taking control. Smucker now tries to take control, can't quite get it. Stuart Ashman's there. Stuart Ashman's going to leave it for Smucker. Going to try to work back middle, going to leave it for Spencer Ashman. Now Smucker back to Stuart Ashman. Stuart Ashman about midfield. Going to try to send it over to Nussbaum. Going to put a little too much on it, but Smith's going to save it. Francois Valdier now has it on the far sideline in Goshen territory. Now it's going to be a throw-in for Huntington.
Yeah, Bontrager just couldn't run down the pass from Stuart Asherman.
Now with Burton, back to Brown. Brown now working middle of Huntington territory. Now crossing it to Hurtis. Hurtis going to cross it back to Brown. Brown now looking to go deep and doesn't. Goes to De Sousa. De Sousa is now going to send it deep, but Spencer. Stuart Ashman's going to stutter step and try to go, but taken by, but can't quite keep up with his own ball. Now thrown in by Rippey. Spencer Ashman's going to head it to Vitor. Vitor's just going to clear it. Bontrager giving chase, so is Burton, and that one's going to be headed to Lynn Sousa. Lynn Sousa is trying to work back middle. Gets it over to Hurtis on the far side, near side of Huntington territory. Now going to send it over into Rippey. Rippey now trying to work it over to Lawson. Now crossing it to Hurtis. Now with Brown. Brown at midfield. Coburn given pressure. He's going to send it over to Lynn Sousa. Lynn Sousa trying to work middle. Going to send it over to Matt Grant's going to take it away. Now with Bontrager. Bontrager trying to send Coburn, and they're going to call a offsides on Coburn.
Yeah, it looked like Coburn was running stride for stride down the far side, and ref raised his flag.
Now working is De Sousa. De Sousa is going to avoid Stuart Ashelman's pursuit, but Spencer Ashelman's going to be there to clear it away. Now with Granitz. Granitz going to send it, try to send it through, gets it through to Stuart Ashelman. Stuart Ashelman, him and the goalie, and the goalie's going to take him out in the box. Nope, they're just going to knock the ball, and Greenfield has it. Now Stuart Ashelman is down, and so is Greenfield. They're both down.
Yeah, that's a hard play to Greenfield's got to come out, and Stuart Ashelman also has the right to the ball, and they both kind of got there at the same time.
Right, so no penalty there, but they're both down now on the field. As they, just some good hard play there. You know, both hustling for the ball, and I think they collided. Maybe, looks like Greenfield's holding his shin.
Yeah, his right shin.
Yeah, right shin. Stuart Ashelman is now up, but he's limping pretty good. So it looks like a few, well, yeah, Greenfield is still down. And in plenty of pain. Stuart Ashelman is now walking normally, but looks like they're doing some testing for Greenfield. And we're going to go to a 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back after they figure out what's going on with Greenfield here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. Welcome back here to the John Ingold Athletic Complex here on the campus of Goshen College as men's soccer Goshen College men's soccer taking on Huntington University is 1-1 with just under 9 minutes remaining here in the second half. We took a timeout because Greenfield was down, but it looks like he's up, and it also looks like he's staying in the game while we were also gone. Lawson picked up a yellow. That's the 4th for Huntington, and we're waiting to see what is going on as the ref and Greenfield are talking over there. And it just looks like they're talking at the moment. Maybe just discussing the last play is my guess. You got any thoughts, Will?
Not really. A lot of talking. If he's too hurt to play, he should come out, and if he's good to go, we should get what he has to say to him. But we are gonna.
So it looks like some sort of kick. I don't know if it's a free kick because they didn't really call it's going to be with Brown for Huntington. Now over to Lynn Souza on the far sideline. Now Brown working middle of Huntington territory. Now over with Greenfield. Greenfield now with De Souza. De Souza's trying to work middle over to Hurtis. Hurtis now over to Brown. Just kind of passing around the middle of Huntington territory at the moment. No one from Goshen really making any real effort to put some pressure on them. Now Brown crossing midfield. Lynn Souza on the far sideline, just past midfield. Looking to go middle, just gives it back to Brown. Brown now looking to go deep, doesn't. Now with De Souza. Now back to Hurtis. Hurtis now crossing midfield. Looking to go deep and doesn't. Now with Morris. Morris is going to try to get over to Burton. Can't quite. De Souza now with it at about midfield. Now to Brown at midfield. Now over to Lynn Souza. Now to her Lawson. Now over to Lynn Souza. Now with Morris. Morris now working into the 18. Still has it in the 18. Going to take it, and it's going to be cleared by Smith. Now cleared out by Vitor with Coburn. And they're going to call a handball on Coburn because the ball just bounced up and hit him right in the hand off his own foot.
Yeah, some good defense in the 18 by Vitor and also Bodstieber.
Taking it is Brown. Now they're going to switch to Lynn Souza. And Souza waiting for his team to set up a little bit. Now going to send it into the 18. Going to be headed by Granite's. Picked up by Stuart Ashelman. Now he's going to set it. Now he's going to chest it and try to put it down. Spencer Ashelman has it. Still running with his Spencer Ashelman and Grecky. And they're going to call a foul on Spencer Ashelman as they're going to catch him with the push in the back.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 call. Not sure I can agree with it, as they were both fighting for possession.
De Souza now working middle. Going to try to send the through. Spencer Ashelman's going to knock that one away. Now with Rippey for Huntington. Now Luzada trying to send it out. Spencer Ashelman for Goshen is just going to clear it. Going to be with Rippey for Huntington on the throw-in. Now to Luzada, back to Rippey on the near sideline. And Stuart Ashelman's now going to knock it out. Right back to Luzada. Now going to be attempted clear by Bodstieber. Coburn for Goshen now has it. Now with Nate Nussbaum. Nate Nussbaum trying to send it ahead. Now Hurtis. Now Lynn Souza for Huntington. Now with her Lawson. Lawson's going to fake in and go out. Try to be cleared, and now they're going to call another foul on Goshen.
Another one of those 50-50. Tough one there. It's about 20 yards outside of the 18 for Huntington.
Definitely in goal-scoring territory. Waiting on the shot. Trying to set up the wall is Goshen. Two Huntington players there waiting to figure out who's taking it. And that's going to be chipped in the 18, but cleared out by Nussbaum. Now running it down is Bontrager and Luzada. And that one's going to roll out and be a Huntington throw-in.
Good clearance from Nate Nussbaum.
Taking the throw in, it looks to be Lynn Souza. It also looks like they may or may not let they are not letting the substitutes on just yet. As now, not quite sure, but we're standing around at the moment. Not quite sure why.
One of the Huntington players was cramping slightly. Looked like a little bit of a breath catcher, if you ask me, but now we have a gang of substitutes coming in for both sides as soon as they let them.
As they're just going to throw it in. And Brown has it. Going to send it over to Hurtis at midfield. Hurtis is going to cross into Goshen territory, working near side. Still working near side, trying to cross it onto the far side, and does. Francois Valliere is right there, now picked up by Bontrager for Goshen. Bontrager trying to work it back middle and doesn't. Francois Valliere there, though. Now gets it to Nussbaum. Nussbaum is going to send it deep. Stuart Ashman is running with him. Ball is still rolling. Stuart Ashman's there. Trying to work it back middle. He headed out by Hurtis, and it'll be a corner for Goshen College. Their first here of the second half.
Here come the substitutions for Goshen College. First, number 18, Lucas Vilela. Number 17, Jamel Ramkeeson. And for the Foresters now, number 6, Ty Sproat, excuse me. Number 23, Noah Stanford, and missed the last one, but now Huntington players down at the top of the 18.
And walking off on his own power, which is good, as we're sitting at just under 4 minutes remaining here, is the game. Walking off looks to be, that's De Sousa. De Sousa's walking off on his own power, though.
I believe that's number 9, De Sousa, yeah.
As taking the corner will be, looks to be Stuart Ashman taking this one. Yeah, Stuart Ashman's taking this corner here. Waiting for the refs to get into place, and the whistle's been blown. Some movement going on. Stewart's going to send it short to Smith. Smith's going to take a shot. That's going to be knocked away, but Spencer Ashman's right there. Going to be clear. Bodstieber's going to pick it up for Goshen. Going to send it over to Stuart Ashman. Working middle is Stewart. Going to cross into the 18. Going to be headed and picked up by Greenfield for Huntington.
Yeah, if Granite's could have got a better foot on that, he had a better chance to score, but only got about half of his power on it.
Now with it is Brown. Brown over to Hurtis. Hurtis now waiting to see where he can go with it. Just going to send it back to Greenfield, just outside the 18. Now over to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza trying to work down the far sideline, and does, to Lawson. Now over, still with Lawson. Now over to Stanford. Stanford now on the near side. No one with him. Spencer Ashman giving chase. Now Spencer's there. Trying to make the cross is Stanford, and he crosses it to no one but Bontrager for Goshen. Bontrager now working down the far sideline. Now gets it over to Francois Valliere. Now to Coburn. Now back to Francois Valliere. Now to Granitz. Now over to Bodstieber. Bodstieber sends it ahead to Ramkeeson. Ramkeeson ahead to Vilela. Ahead back to Nussbaum, but now over to Bontrager. Bontrager over to Vilela. Now with Francois Valliere, who saves it but can't quite get enough foot on it to send it over to Bontrager, who's in the box. Now with Sproat on the far sideline. Now ahead, and that one's going to go out and be a Goshen throw-in. Throwing it in will be Nate Nussbaum.
Just under 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the regulation. 1-1 between Goshen and Huntington.
Bodstieber now has it. looking to get it over to Spencer Ashman, and does. Now with Stuart Ashman. Stuart Ashman can't quite get a hold of it. Recovers, gives it back to Spencer Ashman. Now with Vilela. Vilela's going to try to work middle and can't. Still trying to work middle and does now. Nate Nussbaum with it. Nussbaum going to give it over to Francois Valliere. Francois Valliere now working down the sideline. The far sideline is Revalier. Francois Valliere now going to lose it to Lawson. Now with Sproat. Now taken back by Vilela. Now with Vilela still. Now with Stuart Ashman. Back to Vilela. Back to Stuart Ashman on the give and go, give and go. And now he's going to chip it and header. And that one's going to miss the front of the goal, and that will be a goal kick on that one.
Some fancy passing by Vilela and Ashelman, and then Bontrager's header just didn't have the angle for it. Pretty good attempt for Goshen, though.
One of the better ones here in this half, as we're now at 1:05 remaining here in the regulation. Brown has it. Now Hurtis. Now Goshen trying to push ahead to force it to keep it in Huntington territory. It's going to get into Goshen territory, and going to get it looks to be Lynn Souza. Now ahead. Huntington now has it in the box. Now going to try to make the pass and take the shot, and Fonseca is going to make the save. What a save by Fonseca. It'll be a corner for Huntington, but what a save by Fonseca.
Yeah, great save. Diving to his right, that was a potential game saver. And now the fifth corner of the second half for
20, just under 20 seconds remaining here. Sending it in on the corner, and that's going to be too far. And now running it down is Stuart Ashman, as we are running into the final seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of the half. Or at end of the half, and we'll be going to overtime here, tied 1-1 in this one. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and be back with more with overtime action here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Goshen College Athletics. Welcome back here to 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. We are headed into overtime here as Goshen College men's soccer is taking on Huntington University in this one. It is 1-1 here after regulation, so we'll play the first of possibly 2 overtimes. But we'll see where it goes from here, as both teams are setting up. We have about 2 minutes left until overtime. So, Will, what did you see there in the second half that was strong from Goshen, and they should continue to do into overtime to pick up this win?
Well, Goshen had the costly turnover in the second half that led to the Jake Erlandson goal in the 60th minute. That was a botched deeper pass to Jao Vitor, who then spun to his right, and Erlandson just broke it up for the shot in the back left corner of the goal. And that's your equalizer after the first half goal from Spencer Ashleman in the 43rd minute. The Maple Leafs started the second half a little slow and then had that turnover and then the goal scored. But then they picked up the intensity. We saw Stuart Ashleman with a lot of runs down the near side into the 18, had a lot of opportunities there. So the Maple Leafs have the momentum going into the first overtime, and should look to use their offensive aggression.
Yeah, I mean, they had plenty of chances there in the second half. Really, towards the end, they had 3 or 4 chances to put a ball in the back of the net, especially on the last couple of corners. As the corners for Goshen particularly have been kind of sitting in the 18, and they can't quite just get a foot on it to put it in the back of the net. But I mean, they're here now in overtime. So they haven't lost yet, as we're winding down here. About 30 seconds remaining here in this chilly Saturday night.
Yeah, temperature at game time was 48, and it's now dropped to 44. Tonight's low is 38, so we're getting pretty close to that.
Right. Yeah. Players are still trying to stay warm. Fans are still trying to stay warm. We're trying to stay warm. Stay warm as my Cheryl for keeping us on air here so far. As we're starting fairly quickly here, as the refs are still not back on the field. They're coming out now. Or maybe not. Maybe they're just talking to the coaches about overtime. Not exactly sure what they're doing. As now they're definitely coming onto the field. We're waiting for them to officially start, but both teams have their entire team still on the field, so I'm not sure what they're going to do with the refs coming back out. I'm assuming they'll be going off the field pretty quickly. Fans for Goshen are still here in droves on this chilly Saturday night. It is fall break. Fall break started, so not surprised fans are out here in droves for this one, as they do not have homework to do for Monday.
A quick baseball update. The Dodgers took down the Brewers 4-3 today to even the series at 1 apiece, as that series now shifts back to Los Angeles. But now back to the pitch, getting ready to gear up for the first overtime.
As Goshen will start with the ball for this overtime. Teams have moved back to where they were for the first half, so that's left to right on your radio dial or screen, or left to right on your radio dial for Goshen, right to left on your radio dial for Huntington, vice versa if you're watching on the live stream. Again, Goshen is still wearing all black with black socks, and Huntington's wearing white bottoms, white socks, and white and green tops.
10 minutes set on the scoreboard for the first of the possible 2 overtimes. 1 goal will win it for either side.
Matt Granitz now sending it deep, going deep to Bontrager here early. Bontrager still with it, tries to get it past. It looks to be Brown, can quite not, and it's going to go out and be a Huntington throw in. It will be Lynn Souza throw this one in, as we are now underway in this one. With it is Brown. Brown looking to go middle, and does send it. And that's going to be cleared by Francois Valliere. Ramkison can't quite get a hold on it, but Spencer Ashelman is there. He's going to get over to Nussbaum. Nussbaum gets it to Bontrager. Bontrager's now working down the near sideline. Sends it to Ramkison. Ramkison can't quite get a hold on it, but Stuart Ashelman's going to pick it up. Ashelman's going to send it to Spencer, and that one's going to roll into 18, but just a little too far for his brother, and so it'll be Greenfield to pick it up and throw it ahead. Now with it is Erlandson. Still working quite easily into the Goshen territory. Going to take a shot, but going to be knocked away by a couple of Goshen defenders, and it'll be Bontrager with the ball. Bontrager trying to work right, goes left. Going to try to send ahead to Stuart Ashelman, but it's going to be rolled away, and Greenfield's going to clear it. Now going to roll, picked up by Vilela. Vilela now gets it over to Nussbaum. Nussbaum ahead to Bontrager, back to Vilela. Vilela's going to take a cross and can't quite get it to Stuart Ashelman. Now with it is Stanford. Going to send ahead. Francois Valliere is there, but they're going to call a foul on him, and it's going to be a free kick for the Foresters.
Another 50-50 ball in favor of the Foresters. Could have gone either way, but award the Foresters.
Lynn Souza now working down the near sideline right in front of the Goshen bench. Gets it ahead to Erlandson. Now to Luzzatto. Back to Lynn Souza. Now to Brown at midfield. Brown looking to cross and doesn't. Gets it to Lynn Souza. Lynn Souza gets it, but now right to Francois Valliere. Over to Nussbaum right in front of the Goshen bench on the near side. Crossing it and can't quite get it ahead to Ramkison. Ramkison's going to take it back. Still has it. Now it's bouncing around. Burton, Ramkison, and Hurtis all vying for it. Now with it is Stanford ahead to, and they're going to not call a foul in the box like they thought they would, and Fonseca will clear it out on that one, as that one was real close to being a shot on goal for.
Some good defense from the senior.
Putting it back into play on the free kick is Hurtis. Just going to give it over to Brown about a yard to his left. Now with it is Erlandson and the Bontrager, and they're going to call the foul on Bontrager. Looked like he pushed Erlandson in the back. So now with it, Bontrager and the ref look like they're having a conversation. Or no, he's just trying to make them move the ball. Setting it up in the goal. It's just Vilela by himself in front. Luzada going to just send it in, and it's going to be headed in the air, still in the air, and it's going to go over the crossbar, and it'll be a goal kick for Goshen. Fonseca to take this one.
Pretty good chance from the Foresters. Again, didn't have the angle on that one to put it home, but a good opportunity nonetheless.
Just over 4 minutes gone by here in this one. Now with it is Spencer Ashelman. Now back to Vilela. Now back to Spencer Ashelman. Now over to Vilela middle. Vilela's trying to work it back middle, but can't. Now gets it ahead. Stuart Ashelman can't quite get there. And it'll be rolled out and be Goshen College throw-in. Spencer Ashelman to take this one. Just going to throw it into Bodschieber. Bodschieber now with Granitz. Granitz looking. Now going to send it ahead. And can't quite get ahead. Stanford's going to get it for Huntington now with Nussbaum of Goshen. Nussbaum's to send ahead to Bontrager. Bontrager's going to get it on the near side. Now working middle. Going to get it over to Vilela. Vilela's going to try to work it in to Stuart Ashelman and can't quite get it there. And they're going to call a corner for Goshen.
Good lead pass from Vilela, and then nicely broken up by a Huntington defender.
As that was, if that goes through, that's possibly the game. Now Stuart Ashelman take this one. He's going to send it short to Vilela. Going to go just over Vilela's head, still in the 18. And it's going to go out and be a goal kick for the Foresters. Taking it will be Greenfield. Greenfield now coming to set the ball. 4 minutes remaining here, as 6 minutes have gone by in this first overtime. Greenfield telling all of his players to go farther back as he's trying to send it into the other half of the field. And he's just going to send it short to Lynn Souza. Now with it is Erlidson. Going to go past him, and that's going to roll out and be a Goshen throw-in. Now with it is Bontrager, and they're going to call that on Lynn Souza. As the Goshen fans are calling for some sort of card, but they got the foul and the ball.
Lynn Souza just ran Bontrager over with 2 shoves in the back. 2 arms at the back, excuse me, but the foul is right.
Now Granite's with it, going to get it to the far side to Spencer Ashelman all by himself on the far sideline. Now trying to work middle. Going to fake middle and go far. Now in the 18, going to cross it, and it's going to be knocked away, and it'll be a corner. It'll be a Goshen College corner, the second one in as many minutes. Just under 3 remaining here in this first overtime. Stuart Ashelman to take this one as well. Looking what waiting to figure out, putting his hand up. Sending it into the 18. It's going to be knocked away by Greenfield. Now with it looks to be Souza. Now rolling away. Now picked up by Erlidson. Erlidson on the near side. A couple of Goshen players giving, and Francois Valliere is going to take it. Bontrager with it down the sideline. Now he's slowing it up, going middle, leaving it with Vilela. Vilela's going to get it back to Nussbaum. Nussbaum over to Granitz. Granitz with Vilela. Now Vilela now he's going to fake like he's going down the far sideline and put it behind his back leg and go middle. Now Francois Valliere running down the sideline, trying to save it, and that's going to roll out and be a goal kick as Vilela put just a little too much pressure on it. 1:50 remaining here in this first overtime. Greenfield with the goal kick. .30. Greenfield's going to send it deep. Going to go a Goshen player's head. Now it's rolling. Now Lynn Souza is going to get the push on Bontrager as he did a full arm extension, so that was
Or Jake Erlinson.
taking it now for the Foresters is Greenfield. Greenfield's going to boot it. About midfield, going to be headed by Nussbaum. Now foot race Vilela. Brown's going to win this one. Brown now working down the near sideline, and he's just going to chip it, and it's going to go out. Now we're at 20 seconds remaining here in this first one. Vilela has it, gets it over to Francois Valliere. Now to Bontrager, now to Vilela. Vilela trying to work middle. Now Francois Valliere. Now Vitor.
10,
and
9,
now we're running
8,
down in the final
7,
seconds of this one.
6,
As we're at 5 seconds, and they're just going to take a
4,
shot deep. And
2,
he's going to catch it.
1.
And that'll be the end of the first overtime. So we'll go to a second overtime. As that one was right on, that last shot by Vitor was right on the money, but it will go out. We'll be back with after a quick 2-minute timeout here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. Welcome back here to John Nichols Athletic Complex and here on 91.1 The Globe. This is Goshen College men's soccer as they take on Huntington University. We are in overtime number 2 as it is 1-1 still after a full 90 minutes plus another 10. This will be the last overtime, whether it ends in a win for either side or a tie. There will not be a third or shootouts. So whatever the score is at the end of 10 minutes is the score at the end of 10 minutes. And Huntington's going to take this one. Roles are reversed as like the second half. So Huntington will be moving left to right on your radio dial. Goshen moving right to left. Vice versa if you're on the live stream. Now with the ball for Huntington is Brown. Now over to Lynn Souza on the far sideline. Lynn Souza now with Sproat in the middle. Going to be knocked away by Granitz. Now with Bontrager for Goshen. Now with Vilela. Vilela now working it to the near side. Looking for either Ashelman or Ramkisen. Not there. Now with Granitz. Francois Valliere. Second overtime. Now working it all the way down looks to be De Sousa, and they're finally calling a foul as they've been riding each other for a while. And the foul is called after Luzado gets tripped up.
Good opportunity for Huntington as this is a goal scoring range.
Very much goal scoring range. Tomas Fonseca setting up the wall and a few other things. Now setting up in his spot. Now taking it is Luzada, but right to Fonseca. So easy save for him. He's just going to boot it deep. Running into there, Stuart Ashelman is going to take one bounce. And Stewart is going to get grabbed, but no foul. But he's the first one there. And that one's going to be cleared by Rippey. And they're going to call a foul there.
Yeah, a clear foul. Rippey just kind of put Stuart Ashelman in a headlock to prevent him from running under that one. Could have been a yellow, but ref is going to hold back on that. So free kick for the Maple Leafs now in about the same spot on the other side of the field as Huntington just took.
Yep. Almost exactly the same spot as we're now just under 8 minutes, 7:40. This is a real good opportunity for Goshen. We'll see what Spencer Ashelman does here. He's going to chip it into the 18, and it's going to be headed, but right back to Spencer Ashelman, who's going to head it over to Francois Valliere. Back to Spencer Ashelman. Now working near side. Now he's going to send it back in the 18. It's going to be headed and saved by Greenfield just inside the right post. And Greenfield's going to boot it deep. And Granitz is going to head it for Goshen. Now Ramkisen. Now back to Bodstieber. Bodstieber's going to send it ahead to Vilela. Vilela now going to get it over to Stuart Ashelman. Stuart Ashelman's going to send it ahead. And Nate Nussbaum couldn't quite get there. Greenfield is going to take it up, and it will be a goal kick for the Foresters.
Good idea from Stuart Ashelman there, just, again, too far for the cutting Nate Nussbaum.
Now with it is Brown, as we're just under 7 minutes, about 6.5 now, left in this second overtime. Now Lynn Souza has it, trying to work middle. Going to send it over to Luzada. Luzada is going to try to send it through. Bodstieber's going to knock it away. Now Spencer Ashelman. Now Grant is finally going to clear it. With it is Stuart Ashelman. He's just going to let it go out of the way. And now it's going to be a throw-in for Huntington. And now they're trying to figure out whether it's a throw-in or whatnot. Still having some clarification issues. Rippey's just going to throw it in to Hurtis on the near side. Stuart Ashelman's trying to get there, and he can't quite get there, as that one was close. He was coming his way for Greenfield, and a clear clear grab on Granite's by, it looks to be Stanford. Now Spodstieber with it. Now over to Vilela. Vilela can't quite get a hold of it. Now takes it as Luzada. Spencer Ashman giving pressure, and so is Nussbaum. Now to Nussbaum after a clear out by Bodstieber. Vilela has it, gonna fake like he's gonna cross and give it over to Stuart Ashman on the near side. Stuart Ashman gonna cross it into the box. A little too far, gets it over to Bontrager. Bontrager gonna get it to Francois Valliere on the far side. Tries to cross it, but knocked away. Nussbaum has it now. Now rolling away, picked up by Spencer Ashelman. Gets it over to Granitz. Granitz is going to send it into Vilela. Vilela just couldn't quite get a foot on it. Now with Spencer Ashelman for Goshen after a few seconds with no one on it. Vilela is going to pass it over to Granitz. Granitz is going to cross it to Bontrager on the far side. Bontrager still there. Ramkisen now in the 18. Now leads it to Francois Valliere, and that shot so close. Greenfield just knocks it away. It'll be a corner for Goshen though. Corner for Goshen on this one with 4:15 remaining here in the second overtime. Basically the entire overtime has been on this side of the field. So will be another
to second base on the baseball field.
Yeah, about there. That was a good. Gonna have to run a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Now with it, Vilela gonna take goal kick, corner kick number 2. This one sent in the box as well. Little over, still in the box, and gonna be cleared. Vitor's gonna handle it. Nussbaum's gonna take the shot, but it's gonna go right to Greenfield, just inside the right post. If Greenfield did not move, if Greenfield had moved, that would have been a goal. That was right on target. And they're going to try to send it ahead, but they're going to call something. And now with Goshen. Now with Huntington. Back to Goshen. Granitz. Stuart Ashelman trying to get there. Doesn't. Now Nate Nussbaum with it. Excuse me, Spencer Ashelman. Spencer over to Stuart Ashelman. And Stuart Ashman tries to get it and gets it back. Still has it. Working middle. Gonna take a shot, and that one's gonna curve right into the hands of Greenfield.
Good shot attempt, just right to his hands.
We're looking at 2.5 remaining here in this second overtime. Finally on Goshen's side with Luzada for the first time in minutes. Now with Erladsen. Now rolling. Now in the 18, and that one's going to be knocked away and headed out by a couple of Goshen players right to Erladsen. Ramkisen and Bontrager giving pressure, but Erladsen's going to lose. It'll be a Goshen goal kick. We're sitting here with 2, and
checking in number 8, Brady Gerke. Coming out will be number 20, Noah Fleming.
Fonseca to take this with just under 2 minutes remaining here in this second overtime, and he's just going to send it right to Sven Bodstieber. Bodstieber's going to get it ahead to Granitz. Tries to get it back to Bodstieber. Taken. Granitz is going to knock away, and then it's going to be picked up by Vilela. Vilela is going to put it behind Burton, and now they're going to call a foul on Vilela.
High boot.
For the high boot. And now Luzada's complaining about it being pushed back all the way, and it will be. And he's just going to send it side. And it'll be taken by Bontrager. Vilela now has it for Goshen. Now they're going to send it ahead. Bontrager now has it. Giving chase. Bontrager still going. He's going to take the shot, and he misses with Stuart Ashman with the rebound. And oh
my goodness.
Was that not? Oh, not a goal. Not quite a goal, as 2 shots that were basically almost in, and now it's going to be a throw-in. Just under a minute remaining.
Wow.
Or what? Well, free. No, they're going to call a free kick. And now, in for Now it's going to be cleared out. Vitor now running. And it's going to be taken, and they're not going to call any. Nope, now they're going to call a foul. What are they calling? Is that it? That's outside the 18. Or is that in the 18?
And somehow they're going to call that on Vitor, who had position.
31 seconds. Clock is stopped. It's outside the 18. Outside the 18, so it's a free kick and not a penalty. But barely outside the 18. Well, no, it's a good 10 yards outside the 18.
Yeah, madness is happening.
Yeah, as
there's pushing, shoving from both teams. The refs talking to people. It's getting out of hand with 30 seconds left.
And this shot's going to be taken. It's going to go far and not a threat, as they're going to call something. It's going to be put in. Nussbaum now has it. Nussbaum's just going to kick it deep. Running is Stewart Ashelman. Now headed back by Huntington. Now with Vilela. Vilela can't quite get it. Now to Bontrager. Now to Stewart Ashelman. Stewart Ashelman now running. Still running.
7 seconds.
7 seconds remaining here. Stewart Ashelman now just trying to get some sort of shot off. Cannot. Now taken by Huntington, as the clock has now stopped, and that is the game here, and it's going to end 1-1. 1-1 tie is your final.
Final score,
as
College 1, Huntington University 1.
The last minute was crazy. But we will come back and talk about the end of this game after a 1 minute timeout. 2 minute timeout on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. Welcome back here to men's soccer here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. We are here at the end of the game as it is a 1-1 tie after 110 minutes of soccer action on this chilly Saturday night in Goshen, Indiana. Like I said, Goshen College men's soccer tied Huntington University 1-1. Putting them at 6-7-2 on the year and 1-3-2 in the conference. Huntington goes
1-4-1 in the conference.
1-4-1.
Yeah.
It was a tie.
Oh yeah,
1-3-2.
you're right.
And it's 8-4-3 overall for Huntington. 3-1-2 in conference play. You want to talk a little bit about the overtime? As
Goshen controlled both overtimes, and that last chance they had from Bontrager on the right side, and then the rebound was Stuart Ashman, and Stuart Ashman, the goalie just got enough on it to stop it from going in goal, but it was a very close one. And yeah, that was the last push for either side.
Right, as well, Huntington had that last corner, but it went too far and didn't amount to anything. But yeah, it was a close one here, obviously, because it was a tie, but close one here. A lot of back and forth, a lot of runs from both teams. Both teams played well offensively, but the defense played slightly better.
Yeah, very physical game defensively and offensively for that.
Oh. Was it six yellow cards?
Yeah,
were given out. Yeah, combined. 5 for Huntington alone. So, yeah, that's the game here. We're going to sign off and send it back to the studio. We'd like to thank Jeremiah Sherrill for spinning the dials and pressing the buttons to keep us on air. For this one, we'd like to thank 91 The Globe for allowing us to broadcast. We'd like to thank you, the listeners, for coming out. We'd like to thank the men's soccer team for having a game for us to call. That's all from us. Peace and good night.